Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
Yeah, you got to start somewheres. Day one of the work week. It ain't right, but it happens. Welcome, folks, to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. We appreciate you very, very much. Here's some good news to start our work week, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer group of people. We will be broadcasting today and tomorrow and Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday can go ahead and kiss our asses.
Hell yeah.
It's an F-off week for the Half-Assed Morning Show, working only 3 days. And like I said, it couldn't have happened to a better group of people.
Sometimes it feels like that ahead of time. It doesn't feel like that yet. That really hasn't sunk in.
Yeah, well, we're just getting started. You'll get the vibe.
Do I have a different vibe already this morning? I'm wondering, because I'm a changed man.
I think you have pretty much the same vibe.
Well, I'm a different guy than I was on Friday.
Look at me.
Yeah.
And now look away.
All right.
Now look at me.
Okay.
No, you look like the same guy. I feel the same vibe.
Well, you do. It's weird because
What you
I
got?
went to a restaurant that had robot servers.
Whoa.
Oh, that's awesome.
I thought you were going to say you and the wife did anal.
No. Yuck. Never. Never together.
I think it's too early to hear that word.
It's too early to laugh that hard.
Well, but I've known Josh for a long time, and he and his wife both collectively, they hate anal.
Yeah, we did. It's not that we hate it, it's we don't want to do it.
And when you started talking about a new cubby, that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm sorry.
You didn't consider robot servers, not even once. You went to anal right away.
No, you could have.
Well, what were they serving you?
Did they serve anal?
No, they didn't have anal on the table.
We could have sat here through a full work week, Josh, and there's no way I would have guessed robot servers at a restaurant. But now I can't wait to hear all about it.
I met with some high school friends Saturday night, and just kind of at random, one of my buddies picked a restaurant in the middle of where everybody lives. And it was like a sushi place. I'm not a sushi guy, and I knew they were going to give me crap for not getting sushi at a sushi place.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, because their food came out on a robot.
Dang.
On a robot.
And there were these robots kind of cruising all over the place, just delivering food. So you had a server take your order, and then these robots with blinking fake eyes.
Wait, you're talking about the robots were shaped like human beings?
No, they were kind of shaped like a cart, a multi-level cart. But they had like a face and I want to say cat ears. It was
Cute.
It was a blast. I was just mesmerized by these things. I'd never seen it. I had no idea going into it there were going to be robots there. I was completely distracted. I don't think I was a part of the conversation at all at the table. I was watching these things like crazy.
I can absolutely picture you just with a childlike glow to yourself watching these robots go by, Josh.
It was awesome.
So robot serving carts on wheels. Or did they have claws or anything?
It was wheels.
Wheels.
Yeah.
And they came rolling up, beep, boop, beep, boop.
It was pretty
with
awesome.
The glowing headlights. And
Yeah, it even they would say some things. I don't know what they were saying, but it had a cute little cutesy voice, and there's maybe 4 of them cruising around. And I'll never be the same.
You don't remember what they said to you?
No, I couldn't really tell. It was really loud in there.
Yeah.
They had like this high-pitched kind of cutesy voice. I got a picture of it.
Well, now that you got that out of the way, next stop, anal.
That's the next logical step. You're right.
You think maybe you have their voices on?
No, it's just a picture.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Well, that is fascinating. Okay, it looks like a rolling cart. Sure. And there they go.
I've had that before. Not in this state. It was when I was on vacation in Utah. One of the restaurants had those. They weren't utilizing them as much as I would have liked them to, but it wasn't very busy, so it makes sense.
That reinforces my theory that all citizens of Utah are robotic.
It's a little strange.
I don't
there.
think any of them are real. I think they're all robots. So 2 of you have experienced robot service.
I've only had the train, like the sushi train. There's certain sushi places here in Minneapolis where,
Come on, ride the train.
yeah, a little conveyor belt strolls by. You see something you like, you go ahead and grab it.
Oh, those are sweet.
Oh, you can just grab whatever. On this one, like there's multi-levels, and the one that lights up, that's the one that's for your table.
Do you tip the robot wait staff?
You know, I had wondered that if there was like a tip slot or something like that. And we
'Cause-
just tipped the human one.
You did.
Yeah.
There was human servers as well.
So you said everybody else got sushi, and that came out on the robot. Did some poor schlep have to come hand you your bowl of soup or whatever you got?
Yeah,
Some human?
pretty much. Yeah.
Did he have
it
like
could
a-
have been a cyborg. That's
Did-
what I'd like to think.
Did the human who had to hand you your food, did they kind of look like you? Come on, dude, you could have just gotten sushi and used the robot.
I think they really liked not having to deliver food, so I'm sure it disappointed them a little bit.
Sure.
Who's the dude who chose a sushi restaurant for a bunch of high school bros to go have dinner?
Well, the least likely in our group, but I was kind of shocked.
That would get me and my pals to just straight up cancel.
Yeah, there wasn't a sports bar down the block or something?
I'm sure there
Nowhere
was
in
plenty.
town serves a decent cheeseburger.
Sure, there was plenty. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this place did. I found that out. Yeah, and I was the only guy that didn't get sushi, and I knew I'd take some level of crap.
I can't believe, that I don't have one friend of mine that would say a thing to me if I turned down sushi.
I can tell you, I got at least 4.
You guys are very fancy schmancy. Well, that's really fun that you got to see something like that. I imagine it's only a matter of time before everyone's using them.
That was awesome.
I mean, I don't want that to happen because I would imagine then real live human beings are going to lose a job. At least that's the theory.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they had a lot of staff. Maybe they have people ready to service these robots, not sexually, but in case they need like an oil change or whatever.
Well, damn.
Everybody should be served by a robot.
Offended Millennial Jesus with a good question here. I like this reference. He says, did the robot say, happy birthday, Polly?
What movie?
Well, he's making a Rocky reference.
Yeah, Rocky 4.
Yeah. And no, he did not. Well, I don't know. It was a she. It was a she. I don't know what she said.
Polly straight up fell in love with that robot too, and it was alluded to in the movie that he was having sex with the robot.
It was consummated.
Oh, this person says here, technically, a pocket pee is robot service. Sure, if you have a pocket vagina, I guess it could be if it's
I should have been more
battery-powered.
specific. I should have said robot dining service. Yeah. Well, there you go, Cubby. Light of my life. If you don't mind us continuing to make you the focal point of this morning's broadcast so far. Like we mentioned before or earlier, it's an F-off week for this here radio show. 3 days, or no, I got that right.
Yeah.
3-day work week. And a little bit later on this week, you've got something going on. And it was killing me yesterday because I couldn't remember. I was thinking yesterday, either you're going in for another colonoscopy or you're traveling to Boston. And then it dawned on me, what's the difference?
Anal is the theme for today's show, if you're just tuning in.
Oh, I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
That's right. Colonoscopies go through your anal cavity. Yeah.
No, that's later this month, or next month. Later next month, I'll be doing that. But this particular time, my mother-in-law, she is a huge Twins fan, and she has been to all the parks in the American League with the exception of Fenway. So we're going to go to Fenway and watch the Twins play the Red Sox at the end of the week.
That's so awesome.
We're leaving right away on Wednesday, right after the show. We're going to do a tour. Dana recommended a tour of Fenway. He did that when he was with his dad when he was younger, said that was awesome. We're going to walk the Freedom Trail. And it's going to be kind of a quick, we go Wednesday, come back Saturday, so we don't have a ton of time in between because we're going to the Friday night game. So, and I've never seen, this will be our first family trip out of the state, unless you count Wisconsin. We've never done anything like this before, so getting on a plane Wednesday right after the show.
A family trip. A lot of sitcoms and movies have been made surrounding the idea of a family trip, and they usually go absolutely haywire.
Well, and I expect this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is, help me out. I'm going to come off like a total jackass here, but what's new? What exactly is the Freedom Trail?
It's like basically you see a lot of history in Boston, right? And I think there's two separate types. There's like a guided one and a non-guided one. We plan on doing the non-guided one unless there's robots. I'm obsessed with robots lately. If there's robots leading this, we'll do the guided one.
Wouldn't that be great?
I mean, history. And we're guided by a robot. Wouldn't that be fitting?
Right.
And then we're going to do the duck boats. I love those.
Oh, those are cool.
Fun.
You going to pop into Cheers?
No, somebody had mentioned that it wasn't worth going.
Yeah, it's cool to see the outside of it, but the inside is nothing like it looks in the show.
Yeah, I think we'll do the outside.
Can I tell you something about Boston?
Have you
Never saw it.
Oh, yeah, I haven't either. The only place on the East Coast I've ever been is Florida. I mean, the only times I've really left the state outside of maybe twice was with you for work things.
Yeah, we used to go on.
Not a big traveler.
No, I know you're not.
Boston's definitely up there on my list. I'd love to go there one day.
Are you going to go deep sea fishing? Are you and George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg and John C. Reilly, are you going to go all the way to the Flemish Cap?
Well, I love sushi. So if there's an opportunity to get some sushi, we'll be doing that. And here's my knowledge of Boston is so off. I said, you know what we got to do? We got to go to that fish market where they're chucking fish back and forth. Everyone's like, you moron. That's on the other side of the country.
It's like opposite side of the country.
Apparently that's Seattle, not Boston. I want to go to Seattle.
You are going the long way.
Yeah.
If you want to go see fish thrown into the air from one person to another, you're going the long way by stopping in Boston first.
If you ask some local from Southie, he'll throw a fish at you if you really want him to.
Steelers fan Jesus wants to know if I anticipate coming back with an accent. Well, I've been practicing saying wicked. I said wicked all weekend.
Nice.
With everything. Oh, that's wicked fun, or that was wicked fast, or what? That was a wicked shot by Anthony Edwards. That kind of thing.
I'm excited for you. I know you're not a traveler, neither am I. So that ought to be something. Bring everyone back a souvenir now.
Are you making sure that you get to the airport early enough, Josh?
We're going 2 hours early.
Nice. Good job.
I was trying to think the last time I've been on a plane. I mean,
souvenir, I said.
Yeah, I'll get you a souvenir.
Jesus, there was no reaction at all.
Oh, I'll bring you some chowder. This is from Maslow.
You
Jesus.
friggin' bastard.
And she recommends I get some lobster. No, I'm not a big fan of those. Well, I've never had lobster.
Ooh, bring me back some of that lobster. That's some of my favorite stuff. What were you saying now? You said something.
I forgot. But I did want to ask a question, though.
God dang it, you said something.
Are we going to be dead if we wear Twins gear to Fenway?
No, you'll be just fine.
Boston fans are, they're not, it's not like a Yankee fan.
No, they're chill.
Going to like a Vikings game in Philadelphia.
No, you should be just fine. I've worn Twin stuff at Fenway before.
Hey, dude, F them. Fight them if you have to.
Yeah.
Fight them.
Too old to fight. There's young people going with us. They can fight.
You fight right on the sidewalk in front of the ballpark. No, you said something, and then I went one way, and then I forgot what you said.
About going to the airport 2 hours early?
No.
We talked chowder. I said I was annoying everyone that was around me, saying wicked with everything.
Right, and then I interrupted with souvenirs and whatever.
Somebody want more anxiety than hair Jesus. Are you planning on hitting up that big tea party I'm always hearing about? Yeah, I think we're going to do that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I want to do all the history stuff. The stuff where if I was there when I was a kid, I'd be miserable about. Now I can't wait for that.
That kind of stuff is so much fun.
Yeah.
I love it. Give me all the museums.
You think that's going to grab you, huh? You're not going to get bored with that?
Maybe. I mean, the Freedom Trail, especially because like in one of the spy novels I read recently, they talked about the Freedom Trail, and I thought, ooh, I'm going to go right where Scott Harvath was. I'm going to walk this Freedom Trail. People are saying bring back some lobsters for Ashley to save.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah. Live lobsters on the plane. Nothing could go wrong.
George didn't like Boston.
A listener of ours by the name of George did not
George is one of the nicest people of all time. He hated Boston. Stupid accents, bad traffic. F Boston. Enjoy your trip. Yeah, we're going to be walking everywhere.
George this is the first time I've ever we've ever received a negative text from George.
Yeah, he's seriously
He's the
one of
most positive,
nicest.
friendly person who ever has texted ever.
100%.
If you can piss off George, you must really suck. Because
Yeah,
George
Boston must be terrible.
He's a regular texter, and he always says nice things. So Boston must really suck if they've got George talking like that.
Well, yeah, if it weren't for my mother-in-law wanting to go, and we've been turning her down on a family vacation for 2 decades.
It's only natural.
She's getting to an age where it feels like we should probably do it.
She's on her way out, huh?
Well, I don't know. I hope not. Death by anal. Classic country Jesus said he's with George. He hated Boston. Ha,
Yeah.
ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, well, I never saw it, for God's sake. And that's all right by me.
What do you guys want, souvenir-wise?
Oh, I don't
Do you want
know.
some pictures of that famous fish market where they're whipping fish back and forth?
Yeah, I don't know enough about the city to recommend anything. You know? I'd really like it if you went to the Flemish Caps with Clooney and John C. Reilly and Wahlberg. What movie? Perfect Storm. One of the worst movies ever.
I haven't seen that.
Speaking of movies, and you know I'm not much of a... Oh, it's terrible. You know I'm not much of a go-see-the-latest-movie guy. But did anyone see the television ad for the latest Final Destination movie?
Yeah, I did. I just watched, actually, I went to the movie theater this weekend and saw Sinners.
Oh, how was that? I hear it's awesome.
Absolutely incredible. Honestly, one of the best movies I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah,
Better
That's
than...
what people are saying.
Is it better than Get Out?
Yes, yes, by a lot, Nick. But I saw a preview for the new Final
You
Destination.
did. Oh, what did I say the right name? Final
Yeah,
Destination.
I think that's what you said.
Okay.
And I am absolutely pumped for this.
Okay, I only saw the television ad, so in the movie trailer, you must have seen much, much more. I don't know if it was during one of the ball games, but I saw this television ad for Final Destination. What number are they up to? Who cares? 6, 7, 8, doesn't matter. I saw the first one
That's all I saw.
where a terrible car wreck kills everyone in town, right? And then I saw a little bit of another edition from the Final Destination people where a roller coaster gives way and there were body parts everywhere.
That's my favorite one.
That's the extent of my knowledge on Final Destination. But this latest television ad, it cracked me up, and I told myself I got to go see it. So for folks who didn't see the television ad, it's a family in the backyard barbecuing. And, of course, as you know, it's always this unreal chain reaction that kills everyone or lops off their limbs or whatever.
Where you're constantly like, oh, that's going to be the thing that gets, oh, no, not that.
So in the ad, this family's out in the backyard. And if I remember correctly, because I only saw it once, and I just ended up laughing my nuts off. It was so well done. One kid is jumping on the trampoline. He tears through the trampoline. A spring pops off the trampoline, hits somebody. They stumble into a table, which causes some ice to fall out of a cooler. The ice lands in the grass. The dad of the family steps on the sharp glass that sends him this way. He runs into a rake. The rake lands on a lawnmower. The lawnmower begins moving forward, and then they cut to like a teenage girl, and she just goes, no! And then there's some blood splatter, and it says Final Destination, Part 7. I found myself laughing my balls off at this.
A lot of horror movie
Perfect.
trailers are kind of funny that way.
Oh, my damn.
By the way, I really appreciate you bringing up Final Destination when I'm about to step on an airplane.
Oh!
The whole premise of the first one is a horrific plane crash.
That's the first
Oh,
one.
that's right. That's right. I did see the plane crash, at least that scene, the plane crash. I forgot
Let's talk about the movie Alive next, if we could.
Have you ever seen Castaway, the Tom Hanks, Josh?
Yeah, I'm bringing a volleyball to hump
Just
if
in
I
case.
need to.
Oh, my God. I really enjoyed that ad, and it doesn't normally happen that way. Normally, when I see a movie ad sitting at home on my television, I say to myself, well, that looks like it blows. But this freaking Final Destination thing looks like a lot of laughs. You saw it, Ashley. Dana saw
Yeah, I
it.
saw it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You saw the whole trailer in the theater, Ashley, so you
Yes.
probably have
Was
some...
it the Red Band one? The one that's, the rated R version?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
it
when
was.
I love when those pop up at the theater. Want
Yeah,
to see
actually,
the good stuff.
my fiance was angry because he's very excited to see the new Lilo and Stitch movie that's coming out.
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah,
Why does
it's
that
like
ring a
it's
bell?
an adorable little kids movie
Oh.
that's been around forever. And he was mad that they were all, because the movie we were seeing was rated R, was mad that all the trailers were like rated R themed.
Oh, sure.
I was like, where do you think we are? This isn't a kids movie we're sitting down to watch.
Though there was a trailer not too long ago. Well, the movie's already on demand now, I believe, but where I thought it was a bit. I thought I was watching a joke for a new show. Have you seen the one where there's this woman, she's in a yard, and then all of a sudden she keeps getting closer to the house, sitting in like a chair or something like that, as she's sitting in this yard, and the movie is called The Woman in the Yard.
Yes.
I thought it was a joke. I thought they were kidding around.
It's just a little too on the nose.
I do want to see it, though.
Yeah, it looks really scary.
I've heard it's terrible.
Oh, really? Darn.
Is it as bad as The Perfect Storm, where they go to the Flemish Cap?
I haven't seen that one.
Just awful. Dumbass Welder Jesus has texted the program on the topic of what souvenirs Josh could grab for each of us when he visits Boston later on this week. Dumbass Welder says, well, if Josh is going to Boston, then he ought to get me a Statue of Liberty pencil sharpener.
Oh, yeah, sure. with my geographical knowledge, which has been proved this morning, absolutely.
I would love it if you stopped by the Statue of Liberty when you're in Boston. I don't really use a lot of pencils anymore, but it could be something I just keep on my desk at home.
Well, I was planning on taking a lot of pictures of the Grand Canyon to bring back for you guys.
Yes,
Hoover Dam,
please.
kind of that whole area.
That would mean a lot to me.
Hit up that Liberty Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. That'd be beautiful.
Are you nervous at all about the airplane ride? Because I know you're not as bad as I am, but, neither one of us looks forward to air travel.
Well, the only reason I am a little bit is because some of the people we're going with were joking about, barfing on an airplane.
Barfing on an airplane?
Yeah, have just motion sickness. And the last time I was on a plane, I didn't get motion sickness. Meaning, like, anywhere. I could go on any ride, any of that kind of stuff. And that has changed in the last couple decades where I can't go on any ride anymore. I used to be able to do everything. I tried, like, those bracelets. I tried the pills. I tried all that kind of stuff, and nothing worked for me.
So you're wondering if maybe...
I never even thought about it until she brought it up.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I get really bad motion sickness to the point where I would rather drive than ever sit passenger or in the back seat because that makes me nauseated. And I am completely fine on airplanes. It doesn't do it to me at all.
Yeah,
Okay,
see,
so you're
Josh,
all right?
Yep.
I don't see a lot of similarities between an airplane ride and an amusement park ride. So
I didn't either, so I thought, well, maybe I've just never noticed it because motion never bothered me.
I think you'll be fine.
Yes, I will bring this person back some sand from the Gulf of America. Yeah, whatever you want. Sure. Pictures of the basement at the Alamo, I'll take those for you.
I remember now, a couple of minutes ago, I said we were headed in a certain direction, and then I lost it. And that's what it was. You had brought up the airplane ride, and then I interrupted, and we went in a bunch of different directions. That's what I had forgotten, was to bring up the airplane ride. So, yeah, I don't think you're going to have any motion sickness issues on that airplane unless there's brutal turbulence or something like that. Unless you are...
I've never experienced turbulence.
I would imagine, Josh, if the plane begins to fall from the sky and you're spinning out of control, cruising towards planet Earth at 1,000 miles an hour, then you might get a little sick.
Yeah, maybe me and the wife will try anal at that point.
Hey,
That's when we'll get into
Got
it.
nothing
go
to
out
lose.
with a bang.
Oh, yeah, I'll do this for you. Holland, your wood, Jesus. Picture of Mount Rushmore. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. We'll do all that in Boston.
You got nothing to lose. Well, there you go. What else is going on? Pretty busy around here with these friggin' ball clubs playing in the playoffs. Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver will join us at 7:30, and we'll get into that.
Are we allowed to talk about the big prize we're going to start giving away today, or do we have to wait?
I do not know.
I think we can talk about it, can't we? We
Friggin'
can't
just
give
do it.
away.
It's an F-off week.
Oh, yeah, what do
by
we
the
care?
time the bosses figure out we've done something wrong, we will be gone.
We're going to give away a flyaway trip to Pantera. And you might be wondering, well, where? Can I go to Boston and see the Grand Canyon, something like that? Wherever you want. It doesn't matter. Wherever they're playing, you want to go, you want to meet the band, that kind of thing. We're giving that away. sometime between 8 and 9 this morning.
I kind of hope the person that wins just decides Minneapolis.
You know, I was thinking about it. That's what I would pick. As lame as that is, I'd watch him here.
That is a big prize.
But if you like it, I mean, they're giving you what they call the VIP black carpet treatment. So, yeah, an opportunity to win that today at some point.
Pan, by God, Terra, still out there doing their thing.
Yeah, I want to see the new Pantera. I love Zakk Wylde. He's one of my all-time favorite guitar players. It seems like he's a great choice to replace Dimebag. People seem very pleased with what he's brought to the band.
I missed him. I missed Pantera when they came to town. What was that, a couple of summers ago with Metallica?
I watched a lot of YouTube
two
videos.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, there you effing go. And here we go with our F-Off week, day one. Hope everyone's doing well. Like Cubby said, be listening. I think sometime between 8 and 9 we're going to get to that Pantera thing, and then Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder in the mix, and that whole works. Did you have another text message you'd like to throw our way?
Yeah, CFH bass player Jesus, thank you for reminding me. I will get a T-shirt from the Pearl Harbor Memorial when I'm in Boston.
We got to take a break. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Idly ho, neighborinos.
93X.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks as always for listening to the podcast. And of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/listen and use code LISTEN for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/listen and use code LISTEN at checkout.
It's part sports.
We have football on the brain.
Part pop culture.
Dennis Leary. True or false? You refuse to wear a glove with Mickey Mantle's signature on it for the movie The Sandlot.
The Red Sox blood, the Bruins blood, they run deep.
And in the best celebrity interviews.
Robert De Niro here on The Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
Just got over a 24-hour virus.
The antidote is to appear on The Rich Eisen Show.
There you go. I would have just done it earlier.
And you've got The Rich Eisen Show podcast.
There is a medicinal quality to appearing on this program.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, Cubby.
Yes, sir.
Have our listeners gave you any more ideas on different sites to visit when you're in Boston at the end of the week?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. There was some advice on, I had mentioned, I never even considered it, but somebody brought up the idea of getting sick on an airplane because of the motion. And that never concerned me. I haven't been on a lot of airplanes, but it's never bothered me. But then again, now I get motion sickness on rides.
Yeah, on rides.
And so they just said to be careful. Again, I'm going to Boston. When I fly over the Rockies, I guess that's where you might experience some turbulence.
Turbulence. A couple people texted in and said, make sure when you're in Boston, you swing by the Great Wall.
Oh, wow, that's great. I like that. I also, we don't have a lot of time there, but I'm going to try and sneak these in, like the selfie someone requested I take in front of the Bellagio fountains.
I'm not sure what that means.
In Vegas?
I was ready to have a good time with that. And then I didn't
and the Vegas sign. You looked genuinely amused.
But then I realized I didn't get it.
Oh, okay. Somebody else recommended, I guess there's a famous cherry in a spoon in Boston.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'll look for that.
You have so much to do.
If it means anything to you, Pool Guy Jesus texted in to say that amusement park rides make him sick as a dog. Flying doesn't bother him at all. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm actually not too worried about it. It's just something I'd never considered until she brought it up.
All right. Moving on to the stupid news. We got a video here for starters. And you delivery drivers, will especially get a kick out of this. The footage comes from, one of those newfangled doorbell cameras. And it's video of a FedEx driver who got fooled by a sleeping dog. In the video, the FedEx delivery lady, she walks up on somebody's porch to make a delivery, and she notices that there's a dog laid out on the porch, and it isn't moving at all. The delivery lady, package in hand, she looks at the dog very closely. Dog doesn't react. It's lying on its side, absolutely motionless. And the poor delivery gal thought the worst. She then leaves a message on the doorbell camera. Do you have audio of that message,
Yeah.
Josh?
Hello, I'm so sorry to tell you, but I think your dog passed away out back, laying here right now, but I don't think he's here anymore.
I didn't know that was possible in the first place. How the hell does that happen? How do you...
Well, I think what happened was, so it depends on your plan. Like I have a plan where
How does that work?
It'll store 60 days worth of audio and video.
Oh, so doorbell cameras not only record video, they record audio.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I was unaware of that. So she knew that. She's a delivery lady.
Mine could even announce, hey, Nick's here. You know, it can tell you that kind of thing.
F me. So she says, as you heard, sorry to tell you, but I think your dog is dead.
It looked dead.
It did.
After leaving the message and the package, the delivery lady takes one more close look at the dog. And at the exact same time, a different little scrappy dog excitedly runs up to meet her. And suddenly the laid-out dog comes to, and the gal realizes the dog was not dead, just very, very sound asleep.
Just a sleepy puppy. I probably would have tried to move them before I told somebody they were dead. I understand some people are like afraid to wake up dogs or just afraid of dogs in general, but before telling somebody that I think their dog is dead, I would have tried to make contact.
Or at least poke it with a stick or something.
Yes, something.
I don't think I'd put my hands on it for fear of losing that hand, but maybe, like Josh said, break a branch off a tree and poke it from a distance. Sure.
So they have so many dogs. So many dogs end up joining this video.
My stepdaughter a couple weeks ago, she nannies part-time, and they have a dog. And so the family went out of town, so she's just pet sitting. And she went there, and the door wouldn't quite open. And so she starts putting a little more pressure on the door, and the dog was there, not moving. And she thought, oh, my God, the dog died. The dog passed away. But it was the same type of thing. The dog was just exhausted, decided, I'm not going to move. You can push me out of the way. She thought for sure the dog was dead.
So before this delivery lady left, she fed the not dead dog and all the other dogs on the property some delicious treats. On social media, the family with all these damn dogs on their property. And by the way, did this look like a beautiful place or what?
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful.
Massive farmhouse it looked to be in the video.
That's the way to go if you can afford it.
Huge porch. It was just beautiful. No wonder they have so many dogs running around. On social media, the family with all these dogs left a message saying, if you are our FedEx driver, we're sorry for this encounter. Thank you for your concern. So they appreciated that the lady would leave such a message and let them know. I'm going to go ahead and guess, Josh, that being a delivery driver, you are wrestling excited and sometimes not so friendly dogs all day long. I imagine it had been a long time since this delivery lady had encountered a dog that had zero reaction to her presence, so she assumed, well, that dog must be dead.
It looked dead.
Yeah.
It definitely looked dead.
One thing that I noticed for anybody else that's chronically online, they have a goose on their porch. It's like a ceramic goose. And that has like its own like cult following. Those things are really expensive.
Swingers.
And people will dress them up in different outfits.
ceramic geese?
Yeah.
Are what?
It's like a weird cult following with these things. Like if you have one on your porch, I don't know, it's like a big deal. Yeah, and people will dress it up in different outfits for different holidays.
Okay, this is the new hip thing. You put a ceramic goose on your porch and you put clothes on it.
Yeah, it's
Losers.
Cute. I think it's adorable.
And that means we are open to partner swapping?
I thought I was. I was flamengoed last month. I woke up to, I'm going to say probably 50 flamingos on my front yard, and I thought, oh my God, I'm a swinger. I had no idea.
Ever in the neighborhood trying to bang Josh all of a sudden?
Somebody played a prank on you?
Yeah, it turns out it was Chris Lindahl for my 50th. He delivered like 50 flamingos on our front yard.
What?
And I had no idea, so I'm checking our camera going, there was a couple of culprits, a couple of my buddies that was right up their alley, and I thought for sure it was them. And he sent me a video, Lindahl, the next day, and I still didn't get it. Ashley got it right away because he said, happy flocking birthday. And I thought, well, that's a weird thing to say. And then eventually he reveals he was behind it.
One of the best pranks that's ever been pulled on me was many years ago when I was living in Rogers. We had a real fun drinking crowd up there in our neighborhood. Everybody was, 35 and under. And all we did was just drink beer until all hours of the night. We had a riot. I miss those people. We had such a great time. So all my beer drinking pals up there in Rogers knew I was headed out of town for a few days. This was like in July. I go out of town, I come home, and when I came home, my Rogers neighbors had covered my entire lawn with packing peanuts. White packing peanuts, and put a Christmas tree up in my yard and Christmas lights to make it look like... You see where I'm going with that?
Right.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun until I had to clean it up. Now,
yeah, those are tough to get rid of.
We did the packing penis to a penis. All right, take that out of the podcast. We did the packing peanuts to a buddy's girlfriend in high school, and the dad was enraged. We didn't even think about how tough it would be to clean up. We just thought it was kind of a funny bit.
I cleaned up about a quarter of it, and then the wind started to blow, and it was no longer my problem. All right.
Then it becomes the neighbor's issue?
It went flying all over the neighborhood, and I didn't do a thing about it. Now, back to this dog story. This is ridiculous, but this here story includes advice from a veterinarian, and maybe we'll get ours in before the end of the week. We'll find out. Dr. Andrea Johnston. We'll see if she's busy this week. There's some advice here from a veterinarian on how you can check to see if a dog is dead or not dead. Okay? And they are: check for a pulse on the inside of the dog's thigh. And I've noticed that before. Inside of the thigh.
I wouldn't do that.
Big artery there. Well, they're not generally saying a strange dog. Like, let's say you think your own dog might be dead.
Yeah, even so.
Right. You still wouldn't grab.
No, I'll figure out if they're dead a different way.
Okay, well, there are other ways, Josh. A heartbeat can also be felt in the left armpit region of a dog. I love this part. You can also, they say, you can also look at the dog's chest. If it rises and falls, it's likely the dog is still breathing. Okay?
Makes sense.
I've had to do that a couple times.
That's a good one.
With my dog, she's had some medical issues lately, and sometimes she'll be so sleepy from being on gabapentin. It's like an anxiety medication that makes them all drowsy. And there's been a couple times where she doesn't move, and I look at her a little bit longer than usual, waiting for the chest to rise. So I'm like, okay, she's good. She's got it.
All I'd have to do is say, who wants to go outside? Or who wants a treat? And they'd be up instantaneously, no matter what.
I wonder if you just made any dogs get up.
Oh, if I did, I'm sorry. I never even thought of that.
Are you assuming some dogs might be listening?
I think so,
okay,
right?
well, no, I like that. So let me get in there. No! You are bad.
No, hey.
I've had some people say your bell, Nick, makes their dogs go absolutely insane. Oh, no. You're not supposed to do it if you know that.
I love that.
Boy, I bet she's got some money, too. Gabby Penton. Got a drug named after her and everything.
That was drinking, man. You can't do that to me.
Don't you think so, Josh?
If it drugs named after you?
Gabby Penton.
Unless it's like they're making fun of her and she doesn't get a dime.
All right. Also, you can check your dog's reflexes. These are different ways to make sure your dog is dead or not dead. Check your dog's reflexes. That can be done by pulling the dog's tongue, gently tapping on the side of its eye, or pinching the skin between their toes. And if a dog is still living, it will react some way, just in case something happens at the house and you're not sure if your dog is alive or dead.
Air Filter Jesus said he usually just waits until the dog is at least 1/4 covered with flies, and then he'll announce the dog is passed. But it has to be at least 1/4.
I think I can make a ruling on this one, boys.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely dead.
This one didn't make it.
Look at that. It's all the way up past the haunches.
I'm going to make another guess. That sleeping dog in the video is probably older than the damn hills. I had a dog live to be 19 years old. In the last couple of years of his life, he couldn't hear dick, and he spent most of the day sleeping. And when he was really out cold at the house, I could have hosted an amateur marching band contest in the living room, and that old bag of bones wouldn't have opened an eye. So that must have been one old dog. Old dogs will sleep.
Somebody else recommends a rectal examination. That'll wake up a dog if it's not.
Sure will.
Oh. No thanks.
I'd mentioned, so we're going on our first ever out-of-state family vacation this week, and we're going to Boston, and I got a lot of hell over the weekend because I always thought Boston was the place with that fish market where they whip the fish back and forth, and I said I want to go there. Yeah. And everyone looked at me like I was the world's biggest dummy because that's Seattle. I didn't know. And so people have been giving me some advice. I've never been to Boston. I don't travel very often. They recommend I check out the Gateway Arch.
Sure.
I've heard that's pretty good. Raven Trucking Jesus said I could maybe go through the newly found tunnels under the pyramids of Boston. Sure. Less Bluer, more baller Jesus wants to know if I can get him a postcard from the Eiffel Tower. Sure. Someone else says here they heard Alcatraz Island is lovely this time of year. I should try that. The Corn Palace, Caesar's Palace.
You're not going to have
Old
enough.
Faithful. We're only there for we have one day where we've got a little bit of stuff open.
Nowhere, you're not going to have anywhere near enough time to visit all these places, but it's nice to have recommendations.
Teacher Jesus said, don't forget Neil Armstrong's footprints. That is a must-see in Boston.
Dead dogs. Not usually the funniest thing in the world.
Pretty awful.
Yeah.
But a pal of mine had an interesting situation a number of years ago. His daughter was leaving town, and his daughter had a little pocket dog. I'm not sure. Some little, tiny little sumbitch. And his daughter left that dog with my pal because she was going to go out of town for a few days. Maybe she was going to Boston to see the Eiffel Tower. So his daughter hands him the little puffy dog, and he tucks it under his arm. And she says, now don't forget to feed it at this time, and don't forget to do this and that. And my pal hears all of these directions about this little pocket dog, and he says, everything's going to be fine. Have a nice trip. And she gets in her car, and she drives away. She's not down the road 10 minutes, and my pal is still holding the little pocket dog. And the little pocket dog went into a coughing fit and then died.
Oh, Jesus.
In his arm.
That's horrific.
And he has to call his daughter. She's only 10 minutes down the road. She ain't even to the airport yet. And he has to say, your dog died.
Oh. Jeez.
I don't think I would have called right away.
And she says,
I don't know.
What? 10 minutes is all it took? Poor little thing just died right there in his arms.
Couldn't you have gotten stuck in traffic so it would have happened on your watch, not mine? You know, that type of thing?
Yeah. This thing could have died in your car 20 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. It's got to come to my place and die in my arms. Thanks for that. These things happen.
Did you at any point want him to puppy sit Ozzy, knowing his track record? I know towards the end you're like, come on, man. You're not supposed to live this long.
Suddenly, this pal of mine was the canine Grim Reaper. All right. We were talking about a delivery driver. And unfortunately, unfortunately is how you say that, like any profession, There's a few derelicts working in the delivery business. Every profession has one or two. Some professions way more than one or two. In a place called Slidell, Louisiana. I've driven through there, Josh. Can you believe that?
What was this? Is this anywhere near New Orleans? I'm a geography guy.
Yeah, New Orleans. In a place called Slidell, Louisiana, a delivery driver upped and stole a birthday cake from somebody's house. Home security cameras caught this puke bag in the act. He's a 22-year-old kid by the name of Kennard LeBeau. He dropped off an Amazon package at the house. That's his gig, like I told you. But then he started snooping around a little bit. And the security cameras recorded all of it. Eventually, he went on into the garage and walked out of there with a big fat-ass birthday cake that he snatched up out of the garage refrigerator. It was what they call here a Sweet 16 cake for the daughter of the homeowner. Sweet 16 parties for young gals. Was that a thing in your neighborhood?
No.
Nope.
No, not really.
Yeah, I hear about them, but I don't think it was ever a thing in this area. A Sweet 16 birthday party.
I guess we just called it that when I turned 16, but it's not like I had the whole party like they do in movies. Oh, I always thought that was so cool, though.
Oh, I saw a trailer or a commercial for a TV show. What was it? It was like where they get like a Mercedes. Or
right.
Really rich people.
There was a show when I was growing up called My Super Sweet 16, which just showed rich parents just absolutely spoiling the hell out of their daughters on their 16th birthday. It was pretty obnoxious.
I hear about it from East Coast. Speaking of travel, we've been talking about travel all morning long. I hear that's a thing on the East Coast to make a big, big deal when your daughter turns 16. But I never heard any stories around here. But that's just me. I never heard any stories. So police posted the video of this delivery driver stealing a cake on that godless social media. And I believe that Kennard, the cake snatcher, turned himself in pretty quickly after the video was posted. He knew he was screwed. The local cops think he may have hit some other houses along his delivery route. So I guess there's a job opening at Amazon.
What a dumb way to lose your job.
That's so rude.
I do love cake. It would be tempting.
I was at a birthday party yesterday. I should have brought you some cake. What an idiot I am.
Oh, I would have loved it if you would have brought me a big...
Didn't even think of it.
Big slice of cake. This guy is obviously brilliant. He's from a place called Osceola, Missouri. The police down that way had to arrest this guy. Oh, what was he doing now? He was driving up and around 100 miles per hour. He almost crashed into multiple vehicles. The policeman officer who was in direct pursuit lost this character for a while during the chase. But luckily, some folks in the neighborhood did the right thing and snitched on the guy. They told the cops that dude had quickly pulled into a driveway and went inside a house. The cops found out they were dealing with a younger clown by the name of James Hills. He admitted, when the cops talked to him face to face, he admitted to fleeing from the police officer in his motor vehicle. And this is where we get a sense of just how bright this young man is. He told the cops, well, you know, my cousin told me if I drove over 100 miles per hour that law enforcement wouldn't chase me. I wanted to, test that theory out.
Brilliant.
You know, there's probably something to that in a way, but they will just radio ahead,
Right.
Hey, watch for this guy.
Just zero common sense at all.
His cousin told him that if he drove over 100 miles an hour, that law enforcement wouldn't chase him, and he wanted to test that theory. He also said he had no remorse for driving like a tool bag because, well, no one got hurt.
Yeah, he even looks smart.
This guy's lining up to be an organ donor, isn't he?
Yeah, and hopefully he doesn't make someone else that. That's the biggest fear, obviously. I forgot, Ashley, did I send you this to post the mugshot?
Yep, it's up there.
This guy looks like a dope. He looks like the type of guy that would have everything, or say everything Nick just mentioned.
Well, just lining up to be an organ donor. All right, got another peckerhead for you. Well, this guy's not much like James Hills from Missouri or the dude Kennard who stole the birthday cake. This guy's a victim. And it's quite an original story. He's a 36-year-old cat, and he's from the United Kingdom. Dude is called Ewan Valentine, but there's more to this guy than just his embarrassing first name. Much more to this guy than just his embarrassing first name. The story says Ewan woke up a couple months ago and realized that his car had been stolen out of his driveway. F me running, he said, or at least the English version of that. It was a black Honda Civic. He said he was, quote, gutted because he really loved that motor vehicle. He reported it to the police, but the car was never found. So he went ahead and started looking to buy a similar replacement vehicle. He found a perfect match at a used car dealership, and he straight up bought the pig. Perfect match. Ewan said that pretty much right away, things started to feel a little strange. There was some stuff inside the vehicle. It was used, after all. There was some stuff inside. There was a piece of something or another from a tent. There were some Christmas tree pine needles, some candy bar wrappers, and it all felt familiar. The candy bar wrappers were even the kind of candy bars that Ewan liked. That's when he started fingering the car's navigation setup computer thing. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And by damn, he saw that his address and his parents' address were in the system's history. Ewan said, quote, I nearly crashed. I was in shock. He took the car to a dealership, and they confirmed that this was his stolen car. The VIN number was the same. The mileage was the same. The key was the damn same. The plates had been tampered with and altered. Other than that, it was all the damn same.
That's awesome.
I'd be so confused.
Ewan disappeared later that same day, and he hasn't been seen or heard from since. Now, what happened next was Ewan called the police and told them everything. They couldn't believe it either. It sounds like the ball bags who stole Ewan's car out his driveway did what they call here cloning work to change the car and then sold it to the used car joint. So the folks at the used car lot had to admit that they were duped by the whole gimmick. There haven't been any arrests just yet, but the cops are working on it. Cubby, can you effing believe that?
No. What a weird deal. The closest story I can think of is a buddy of mine. He had his car stolen right out of his garage. They broke in actually into his house, and they had the keys right there by the door.
Sure.
Which, they recommend not doing for this very reason. So they grab it, they steal his car. So he goes through the whole process. And it was brand new to him. It was like maybe 2 months old. And so he goes through the process. Insurance buys him a new car. 3 months later, he got a call from an impound lot going, dude, are you ever going to come pick up your car? We've had this thing forever.
Oh.
And so it just apparently was abandoned somewhere. They towed it to a lot. He had no idea. So then he had 2 cars.
Nobody called him to let him know.
No, it was like after he said I'm trying to remember the timeline from when he got the new one. It was at least a month after he got the new one. So ended up just selling it. Lightly stolen.
That sucks.
You got to disclose that in the Carfax?
Oh, that sucks. All right, in closing here, I don't like to sound completely unsympathetic, but I have to admit that I do find it pretty funny that a confused woodpecker. Oh, this is happening in Massachusetts, Josh, where you're headed in a few days.
A lot of great advice from the brother and sisterhood on what to do when I'm there. I really appreciate it.
When you're in Boston, it's been very valuable. I do have to admit that I find it pretty funny that a confused woodpecker is running around a town in Massachusetts and he's pecking the ever-loving piss out of everybody's motor vehicle. Maybe I'm enjoying this because I don't have much sympathy for the massholes in general. I don't. They're not my favorite group of people. But the woodpecker has so far damaged 25 cars. He's got everybody in town angry.
The woodpecker showed up and landed on the windshield wipers of the RV in our yard and was looking at his reflection. And we're like, you know what? I bet he was the one that damaged the mirrors as well.
We had a neighbor who had wooden siding, and the woodpeckers absolutely loved his house. I've never met anybody that hated woodpeckers more, and I understand.
I've had one tear a hole or two in my home. Good friend of mine has trouble with them all the time. I hear them in my neighborhood. They're everywhere in the day.
I hear them as well.
I love the noise. I never thought of that until I was looking at houses this last time, looking for a house to buy, and there was one that was like all log. And I thought, oh, that would be so cool. It's like, it reminds me of an actual cabin.
A log cabin.
Yeah, and then the realtor brought up the downside of woodpeckers. I thought, no, screw that. I would go crazy if I heard that all day.
Yeah, how do you defend against woodpeckers exactly? Do you
BB gun?
Swing a broom at them or something?
Yeah, you can throw a Molotov cocktail at them. All kinds of ways to defend yourself against a woodpecker. So this woodpecker is specifically going after side mirrors and windshields. Some folks have been able to take pictures of the pecker, but they can't catch him because he's a pimp. One masshole in town does have a sense of humor about it. He posted a picture on social media of the woodpecker, who he called the vandal, that's effing up all the cars. They say he is 18 to 24 inches tall, wearing black and white and a little red hat. You like that, don't you, John?
I do. That's fun.
Everybody likes that. Bird experts say that the pecker is confused and horny. It's mating season, don't you know, for woodpeckers. And the experts say that when he sees himself in the reflection of a car's mirrors or windshield, he thinks he's looking at a rival pecker, so he attacks. Mating season for many birds makes them aggressive and territorial. Hell, next time you see my wife, ask her about the duck rape that we witnessed on our property last year.
Yuck.
Oh, my gosh.
Was it duck on duck?
It was duck on duck.
Oh, a gang thing?
It was a duck rape, and it happened on our property.
Dude.
And we interfered.
Did you?
We interfered.
What?
You know, if it wasn't so foul, I didn't mean that. I did not mean that. Duck rape would be an interesting title to the podcast today, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that.
It was really disturbing.
I bet it was.
The two of us
I can't even imagine.
We're out in the yard right around this time of year last year. And I had to duck, and I'm not trying to be cute with that, because a hen flew right over the top of my head and crashed into our fence in the backyard. And I thought, what the hell happened? What, have you been drinking or something? I'm giving this hen a hard time. And she's kind of looking around all nervous, and then here come two males, mallards, whatever, whoom, and they just swooped down and they started attacking her. It was a duck rape.
Dude,
yeah.
That's traumatizing.
I was kicking them in the ass. I was kicking the mallards. Get out of here, you dirty bastards. This isn't an alley in the city. This is my property. I'm not going to allow a duck rape. And the female is looking at me. You're my hero. My wife came out, too, with a baseball bat. Get out of here, you bastard. It was the oddest scene you could ever imagine. But we got them out of there. And we tried to walk the female. We walked her outside of our fence line. Like, you're fine. Just go ahead and do whatever you got to do. She was nervous as all hell.
I bet.
I can't imagine being your neighbor seeing that scene go down.
I thought they were like polite lovers. And
no.
They match up for life. And...
No, they were biting her and kicking her ass.
Oh, my. What? She needs to file a report.
I hope she does.
So anyways,
Oh, my God.
a lot of folks in this Massachusetts town where this woodpecker is cracking up vehicles like it's a Super Bowl riot, a lot of folks have taken to covering up all the glass on their vehicles with blankets and such.
Some people have texted in and said they have metal siding, and the woodpeckers even go after that.
Yeah, they're dumb as balls.
I guess.
Yeah.
I do like the sound too, Ash.
Oh, yeah, it's somewhat enjoyable to hear.
Yeah,
I mean,
when it's happening on someone else's property. You know?
Yeah, they're all over my friggin' neighborhood. It's either that or duck molestation.
Yeah.
I want to be wined and dined at 69.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Sports. On the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
In front off of Middleton. Pinballs around and they score! Ivan Barbashev wins game 4 for Vegas.
It's a hell of a name. Ivan Barbashev. Where do we go with that, Josh?
I guess you just leave it there.
We just move on?
I'd hate to be the person that has to sew that on the back of a sweater. Actually, there's no way. I mean, I hope they get paid well in the NHL. That's got to be very difficult to be that sweater sewer.
Oh, those guys don't get paid dick.
They deserve more.
They got to drive the team bus, too. Yeah.
They're very talented.
Stay up all night. Ivan Barbashev. Yeah, that Middleton guy probably felt like kind of a jackwagon at the end of that game. I feel for the Middleton dude. He kind of gong-showed that clearing attempt, and then he's flopping like a crappie in the front of the net trying to make up for his mistake, and they score and win the game. How about the Pigs now? They're squared up at 2 wins apiece with that Las Vegas club. They don't play till tomorrow night. I'm sure we'll talk about what's been going on in that series when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder swing by in a half hour. This friggin' Wolves series is going to kill me.
Stressful, isn't it?
I mean, I was frustrated.
I almost walked away in the last 2 minutes because I was getting too worked up, and I'm not even the fan you are.
Right. I had secondhand stress for Nick and all the other people in my life that are diehard Wolves fans.
Just as I knew it would. I mean, like I said from the get-go, this is going to be miserable. Win or lose, this is going to be miserable, and it's been every bit of that. The Wolves won a close one yesterday. Found a way to beat the Lakers by 3. They're up 3-1 in the series, but F me running. Me and the wife were just beside ourselves at times yesterday. She said some words to the television screen.
You know what?
She said words to the television screen that I bet you couldn't pry out of her in just a regular conversation.
I heard I was doing some other stuff for the majority of the game, but I heard your godson say a couple of words too.
Did he?
And some of them were directed at Mike Conley, and my wife said, I will kick you out of the house if you say anything bad about him.
What the hell kind of a son are you raising that he'd have something negative to say about Mike Conley Jr.?
Trust me, he heard it from his mother.
There's nothing I could say that he hasn't already heard from his mother.
That's her number one.
Yeah,
she wants to move in with him.
Why don't you just walk up and slap your mother in the face?
It was disrespectful.
While you're at it.
Does he get more of a free pass for the things he says while watching sports in general?
I'll comment on it, but yeah, he does. He gets he doesn't get his phone taken away or something.
Yeah, you got to understand. It's a stressful situation for everybody.
Your kid got any F-bombs for Herb Brooks while he's at it, for God's sake? My God. Yeah, my wife called a member of the Lakers yesterday. She called him a big bitch.
Oh, he was probably being a big bitch.
Yeah, he was.
I'm not used to hearing those words from her. My wife every once in a while will kind of shock me too, throwing one out. But then again, she cusses a lot lately. I don't know what's going on.
She's loosening
Maybe she's
up.
unhappy in her marriage.
Well,
you've heard some things?
It's because all the tattoos. It causes you to cuss more.
Yeah, she's been getting more. I've mentioned before, I believe she moonlights as a punk rock lead singer somewhere.
What's with the tattoos?
Midlife crisis.
Oh. Good to see the Twins get a weekend series sweep over the Angels. Plenty more to cover when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder stop by. For now, stop by, or not stop by, stick around is where I was going with that, for Josh's news report, which is coming up next.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Nice.
93X.
Nice.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
This is Woman's Work with Nicole Khalil.
I would rather have the temporary pain of discomfort than the avoidable pain of regret. There are too many of us. We're waiting for someday. And the clock is ticking.
Redefining what it means to be doing woman's work.
Make sense of this wild, chaotic, and beautiful world and your place in it. That is woman's work.
This is Woman's Work from Believe. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Last night, while they were doing surveillance, they saw actions that kind of fit the use of drugs.
A Florida judge will appear on the other side of the courtroom after a traffic stop led to his arrest last week. The 52-year-old circuit judge was arrested Wednesday on charges of DUI and possession of drug paraphernalia after deputies spotted a pickup truck swerving several times and going through a roundabout without any lights on about 10:41 p.m. That's dangerous. When the judge was pulled over, authorities noted a strong alcoholic smell on his breath, bloodshot, watery eyes, body tremors, trouble sitting still, and, quote, slurred, thick tongue speech.
This guy was effed up.
Sounds that way, yeah. The judge told deputies he was going to go pick up two friends and then head back home before admitting he had 2 vodka drinks, having his last at 6:30 that night. Well, his behavior suggested otherwise, as it was 10:41. Court documents show the judge didn't want to do field sobriety exercises because he, quote, did nothing wrong. So he didn't feel he needed to take a breath test, even though his breath be humming.
Ooh.
A canine searched the vehicle, discovering cocaine.
Dog alerted, and a subsequent search of the vehicle resulted in the judge having what appears to be cocaine residue in his wallet, tested positive, presumptive field test for cocaine.
The judge was taken to jail along with 2 passengers in his vehicle who were also cited for possession of cocaine. They were looking to party that night. Turns out it wasn't a one-off incident. 2 people had recently tipped off authorities about the judge's alleged drug use, sparking an active investigation by the sheriff's narcotics team weeks before the most recent traffic stop.
You know, a couple of drinks, a little booger sugar, what's the problem?
Yeah, I guess just don't drive. I mean, that was it. Don't drive. A tipsy Tesla driving teen went for a very sleepy, drunken joyride in his electric vehicle, limping along a busy Connecticut highway while passed out behind the wheel. The 19-year-old was slumped over the steering wheel as the self-driving vehicle slowly cruised along the freeway at a drowsy 30 miles an hour, hazards flashing about 12:30 a.m. After getting calls about the Tesla cruising on autopilot with its human pilot completely unconscious, police pulled up with sirens blaring, trying to rouse him, but the kid stayed out cold. They finally managed to stop the car by pulling in front of it, forcing the autopilot to disengage. At first, they feared it might be a medical emergency, but once they woke him up, it became clear the real diagnosis was a bad case of the bottle flu.
Some callers even reported seeing that driver slumped over. State police pulled the 19-year-old over and conducted a DUI test, which he failed.
Even though his hands weren't on the wheel, the teen was still charged with DUI. Authorities stressed that while Teslas can drive themselves, the human behind the wheel still has to be awake, alert, and ready to take over in case of an emergency. It's just dangerous, the Connecticut State Patrol said, noting it was the first arrest of its kind in the Constitution State, where George W. Bush, Paul Giamatti, Christopher Lloyd, Stephanie McMahon, John Ratzenberger, and Seth MacFarlane all entered the world by exiting their mamas. As for Connecticut's first ever autopilot DUI, the teen was charged with driving under the influence, reckless endangerment, and adding insult to injury, driving too slow.
The billion-dollar princess, huh?
Yeah.
So we're talking about Connecticut.
Connecticut.
There you go. That's got to be something to see, don't you think, Josh? A vehicle rolling down the highway, and the driver is absolutely out cold, head tilted back. That's got to be something. I hope I never have to see something like that in person, but I bet it is something.
I'm with you on that. I would assume it was a TikTok video. And somebody was really driving, and so it was an illusion of some sort.
He's leaned back, but his eyes are still slightly open, putting on a bit.
Yeah, filming there's some sort of new challenge.
But all the while,
when it comes to dodging an argument, most people just walk away. But one guy in China said, screw that, and threw himself out a window that was closed.
I love this video. It's up on 93x.com.
The weird moment occurred earlier this month with security cameras catching the scene. You see a couple locked in a heated argument. The footage didn't have audio, so it's not clear what was said. And it's probably a Mandarin or something, so you wouldn't understand it anyways. At least I wouldn't. But whatever it was, he decided he'd rather take his chances with the pavement and then hear one more word. At first, he bounced off the glass. His girlfriend tried to pull him back, but on a second try, he smashed through the window, sending himself flying onto the sidewalk outside, which is pretty punk rock.
What the hell is this guy up to?
I don't know. You're watching the video?
Yeah, well, so he wasn't... Oh, at first, I thought maybe he was a few stories up.
No, it's ground level.
Down onto street level there.
Yeah. Like I said, it's punk rock, so why not use AI and make a punk rock song about it? I call that window dive, in parentheses, screw this.
Beautiful.
That was a banger.
What was he saying there? Like a lot of punk rock songs, I couldn't make up what he was saying.
Oh, now I got to look up the lyrics.
Did you do that yourself?
Well, I just wrote the lyrics and then the deal does it.
Right. What do they call that again?
AI?
AI.
Oh, son of a gun. No way out, something about an ass.
Something about an ass?
That covers it.
I thought I even kept the lyrics.
Well, let's hear it again real quick.
All right,
maybe I can make it out.
Here we go. All right, so she's bitching, sick of listening, I want to go, just itching. Mind's made up, no goodbye. Windows there, time to fly.
Windows there. What was the rest of it?
Jump right. Oh, the whole rest of it?
Nah, don't worry about it.
The best part is, wait, there's glass.
Yeah, he realized it.
Oh, no.
I'm going to jump right out that thing and save his ass.
That effing dude.
The hotel confirmed the incident a few days later after he yeeted out that window. They said the guy already covered the cost, so they didn't want to press any charges. They showed the cops saw the video and said, hey, if they don't want to press charges, carry on.
That's nice.
He turned around and paid for the damages right away, huh?
He's already going through something, clearly.
The best is then he just runs off. His shoe falls off, picks that up, takes off. Pretty embarrassing. A heated argument between a Florida couple led to a woman launching a slice of pizza at her boyfriend. 40-year-old Jillian Bartlett was in the middle of a dispute with her boyfriend in some woods behind a Dollar General when tempers and toppings flew. At some point during the squabble, she reportedly hurled a slice of pizza at him, while the airborne entree left a telltale spatter of sauce on his shirt. Officers confirmed the saucy skirmish, noting that in the arrest report, quote, a fresh slice of pizza was found on the ground at the location the victim said the battery happened. Florida's tough on pepperoni projectiles. She was arrested on a domestic battery charge for pitching the pizza and then delivered to jail.
Well, folks lose their cool now and again. You know that.
Driven by overwhelming sexual jealousy over a love triangle at the school they both worked, a Catholic high school principal attacked his assistant principal with a wrench. 54-year-old Anthony Felton, who's already married, attacked 51-year-old Richard Pike at St. Joseph's Roman Catholic School in Wales last month after learning they were both thunder-thrusting the same promiscuous professor.
Who clearly has a thing for authority.
Who's that? Oh, the woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The principal and the assistant principal. Felton tracked down Pike and perpetrated the premeditated ambush, quietly approaching the seated teacher from behind, pulling the metal tool from his vest pocket and swinging it at his head. Pike told police that Felton, whom he said he had trusted completely, brought the wrench into his office and rained down a number of blows on him out of nowhere. He fell to the ground and attempted to kick away Felton, who continued trying to bonk the educator before being helped by colleagues who heard the disturbance. After the cowardly assault caught on security video, Felton ditched the wrench, drove away, and emailed staff apologizing for the problems and distress his actions, quote, were likely to cause, later telling a judge he was devastated after finding out he was the father of a fellow teacher's child, and then recently discovered Pike was in a relationship with that same teacher. Ultimately, the trigger for your extreme acts of violence was your own doing, the judge said. The overwhelming sexual jealousy arising from an adulterous affair and the uncomfortable rage it created in you, said the judge. Felton was sentenced to 2 years and 4 months in jail.
That's pretty rough for Catholic school people.
Yeah, I mean, all of it. Quite the scandal. A 34-year-old doctor secretly filmed 30 men because he was insecure about his tiny penis. The Scottish doctor with the Irish curse hid the tiny cameras and air fresheners and smoke alarms inside his apartment in Glasgow, where he rented out his spare bedroom through Airbnb.
Oh, creepy.
He also secretly recorded a friend and fellow doctor's dong at the hospital where they worked. When the pecker checker was captured, the doctor, an anesthesiologist, denied any wrongdoing, claiming he only watched wieners because he suffered from body dysmorphia, a disorder where people obsess over perceived flaws. He insisted he was born with a small penis, and he used the footage to compare himself to other men. The court heard he first filmed a victim through a window while the man was showering. He later installed a hidden camera and a smoke alarm in another doctor's bedroom, recording intimate moments with the man and his wife so he could garner a glance at his gland. It makes me feel shocked, betrayed, and disgusted, not only because it invaded my privacy, but my wife's as well. I feel like I let her down, letting this person in our lives, someone I trusted professionally, said the victim. Another doctor, filmed using the toilet at a dinner party, said he also was shocked and betrayed after learning his hog had been discreetly filmed 9 times over 3 months while showering and using that bathroom. The prosecutor said he violated their trust. He recorded them naked, showering, using the toilet, and even having sex. He backed up the videos on hard drives and thumb drives just in case. As for why he didn't just search nude pictures on the internet like most masturbators, he claimed he didn't want to risk illegal photographs.
What, dude?
It wasn't worth the risk. He was completely unaware his actions were exactly that, illegal. And he also said he didn't view pornography because it was exaggerated and bigger than your normal male, and he wanted to see regular dudes. The anesthesiologist.
He's got a hell of a story here, doesn't he?
Yeah. The Scottish anesthesiologist will be sentenced next month, but until then, he's been put on a sex offenders registry.
Tries to claim it's because of body dysmorphia.
He wants us to feel sorry for him.
Yeah, he's the victim in this case.
Yeah, you don't often hear a man argue in order to convince you that he has a small penis. But this guy had to go ahead and do that to try to, cover up his perversion.
No, seriously, look at it.
Speaking of Scotland, wild fan in Vermont, Jesus, the president of the Vermont chapter of the Brotherhood, is streaming the show from Edinburgh, Scotland, as we speak.
That is so cool. I love that.
We appreciate that. There's something sinister afoot in Florida as Tampa Bay real estate agents are being assaulted by a fellow with a foot fetish. Police say the man has been traipsing through open houses, posing as a potential buyer, only to find excuses to caress women's feet. 39-year-old realtor Angela Julian thought she was hosting a typical open house, coffee, contracts, casual conversations. But instead, it turned into a foot-focused fiasco, which led her to feeling thoroughly violated. She and other agents are stepping forward, hoping to raise awareness and keep people on their toes. Several victims said the man used excuses like bugs or ants to get close and touch their feet.
I didn't see an came in, looked around the house, asked questions, asked me to show him the backyard. So I showed him the backyard. Then he proceeded to tell me that I had an ant on my foot.
She did not. Several victims reported to use similar insect excuses to facilitate his fascination with feet.
I didn't see an ant, but he kept telling me that it went behind my shoe, and so he started to unbuckle my shoe and caress my foot.
After sharing her story online, she realized she wasn't the only victim. There's multiple women realtors who've been experiencing and had these encounters with the same man, at least 12 that we know of, spanning as far back as July of last year and as recent as April 12th, Julian said. Clearwater police have confirmed at least one report that fits the pesky pedophile's description, although authorities have yet to catch that suspect.
Like Josh says, I try not to yuck anybody else's yum. But what's going on with you foot people?
Seems like they take it a little too far sometimes.
Yeah, that's one I won't really understand.
What's the deal with that? How did that happen to you?
And they're always so casual about it, just sliding into DMs asking for feet pictures.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
it's essentially the same as sliding in asking for a nude. They're going to get off to it.
What's going on with you foot people?
Really?
What?
Like, I mean, you just mean in general, or the ones that we hear about, like this guy?
I find absolutely nothing attractive at all about feet.
I hate feet. Yeah, I don't get it either.
It's not my thing, but I'm not disgusted by feet like you guys are.
Well, I didn't say disgusted. I just said, what's going on with you feet people?
A passenger on a Southwest Airlines flight to Chicago allegedly stripped down naked and pooped on a seat.
See, this is more my speed right here. This is where it's at. Right, Josh?
That wasn't very ladylike, and yet she is a lady. Police were called to Chicago's Midway Airport Saturday as Flight 418 from Philadelphia arrived with a passenger shocking the cabin by taking off her clothes and emptying her bowels right there on the seat.
That's terrible.
Wasn't clear what happened to the passenger that would lead to the public display of an excremental breakdown, but she was evaluated for her public fecal evacuation.
Southwest says they're reaching out to apologize to everyone on board and emphasize that safety is their top priority.
The plane was taken out of service for cleaning, as you can imagine.
That's really gross.
That's pretty gross.
And someone's going to have to sit in that seat.
They cleaned it.
Yeah, you get a little discount on the poop seat, Ashley.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation's been investigating a dramatic increase in dangerous laser strikes at several Washington state airports because some guys are childish dorks. This is getting worse, they said. Pilots trying to land have reported a wave of bright green lasers flashing into their cockpits in recent months. One standout genius, a 45-year-old named Rusty Flett, targeted 3 different aircraft, including, a helicopter full of cops, which he didn't realize.
Rusty did that, huh?
He did. According to authorities, the crew spotted the laser and quickly tracked Flett down, finding him hiding valiantly behind a power pole. Officials warned these laser strikes aren't just reckless, they're dangerous. The beam hitting a cockpit during landing can disorient pilots, risking serious injuries and putting passengers and crew in harm's way, all because some girlfriendless goofball thought lasers were cool. The numbers back up the growing concern. Just in March, there were 43 laser incidents reported in Washington and 106 so far this year. Last year saw 383 total. So it isn't the work of just one guy with too much time, too few brain cells, and no friends, authorities believe. They say multiple suspects are out there.
So the FBI has more than 100 separate reports of people shining green lasers into cockpit windshields, and that's happening mostly on commercial jets as they approach the runway to land.
And it's happening all across the country.
What about Boston?
Boston, too. The FBI is teaming up with local and state law enforcement to track down whoever's behind the strikes. They're also reminding the public pointing a laser at an aircraft is a serious federal crime. A conviction could mean up to 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Oh, I don't have that kind of money sitting around.
No, me neither. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. Tonight on Fox, the series premiere of America's Most Wanted Missing Persons, a new version of the show analyzing missing person cases to bring closure to families. And that's followed by the America's Most Wanted reboot with Lil Jon, which is also on Fox. Lil Jon is doing that now.
He's hosting a television show?
Well, then.
Well, he's being considered a guest. They call him a guest, so I don't know if he's like a guest host or what. America's Most Wanted with Lil Jon.
That's crazy.
I think I know who he is.
Jessica Alba's 44. Jonathan Andrew Scott, the Property Brothers, 47. He says he has sex 3 or 4 times a day, and I believe him. Golfer John Daly is 59. Jay Leno, 75. Amputated penis finger Jesus wishes his wife Trollhagen Ski Shop She Jesus a wonderful birthday. Happy birthday to you. And that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
It's not like you can hide him. It's not like you're going to put him in your front yard.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
James, corner, Reeves, three-pointer. No good. Rebound McDaniels. It's over.
The T-Wolves go up 3-1 in the series.
He and Julius had it going all night long. They were really good. We were trying to get a third, fourth guy into the game, and Nas shows up in the fourth quarter again. So I just told him feel free to show up for the first three anytime you like. But he was there when we needed him.
Shut up, Chris Finch.
Hey.
Your close games are killing me. If you don't win a game by 20 here pretty soon, I'm going to end up in the hospital again.
That was stressful.
These Wolves-Lakers playoffs games, just like I suspected, they're killing me, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder.
Of course they are.
Even as a casual
you should
fan,
you should be enjoying this. This is what we've been waiting for decades.
Oh, it's miserable for me. Your name again is Brad Ryder. I can't relax. It's miserable. I knew it would be miserable. I said before the playoffs started, I said, this is going to be miserable, win or lose. Win or lose. I can't relax.
I agree with Brad. You should take a deep breath.
I'm trying.
Because this is pretty special. It's been a long time coming, almost 20 years.
Since what?
When you feel like you've got a team that, I thought last year's team was really good.
Yeah, what about last year?
Well, when you actually have, this franchise, other than Kevin Garnett, no offense to Kevin Love and a couple of the other really good players that have been here, they haven't had the guy, a top 5 guy in the league, and we do now.
Yeah.
And that's the type of guy who can take over a playoff game, take over a series, and we haven't had that, so we should enjoy it.
No, I'm enjoying it the way I enjoy it, Brett. And that is to be miserable and stressed out and angry the entire time. But again, I knew this was coming. I knew this would play out the way it has so far.
When you've got a team that forced the Los Angeles Lakers to play all 5 of their starters the entire second half without a break. You did that. You forced them to do that because they were terrified that if they took out LeBron or took out Doncic at any time
Baby nuts.
in that second half,
that
they were going to lose the game, and they lost the game anyway because they ran out of gas.
And by the way, Chris Finch has taken some arrows over the years.
Well, he's a head coach. It's only natural.
And we even have once in a while, but it wouldn't have taken much to outcoach JJ Redick yesterday. But he outcoached. How can you not substitute the entire second half? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's really, really poor coaching.
Yeah, it was interesting.
And not only is that for the game itself, but it's also for your entire psyche as a team.
What kind of message does that send to everybody else?
That's right.
No, it's interesting. You're right.
This series is done.
Oh, wow! I love it.
It is. They're cooked. They might go back and win maybe the next game, but they're not going to win here.
You told those other 10 guys you're not good enough to go into this game, which is not even an elimination game.
Right.
Not even an elimination game.
Yeah, those poor bastards were just sweating it out, weren't they? That starting 5 for the Lakers, just sweating it out. Can I sit down for 2 minutes for Christ?
His rookie head coaching mantra showed through big time yesterday.
He's a schmuck. The Wolves rallied.
Well, he's not the head coach anyway. We all know that. But anyway.
The Wolves rallied after a poor third quarter. There were so many big moments in this ballgame. If you didn't see it, I don't know how I could explain it. Obviously, Anthony Edwards scoring 43 points was a big reason for the win.
Sure. Be A1 from day one.
But there were great defensive plays, tough defense played by the Wolves when it mattered. It was more than just Edwards. Of course, there was poor officiating to deal with as well. Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, Nas hit a couple big threes. Wow. So they got a 3-point win, and they lead the series now 3-1. Baby nuts, of course. Yes, Brad Ryder?
Did you think the officiating was bad yesterday?
It's always bad.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Every NBA game I've watched over the last 10 years has been bad. Every one of these guys should be fired.
If the team I want to win wins, I think the officiating was great.
Well,
if they lose, it was rigged.
You look at the free throws, too. That's usually what people go to. It wasn't that bad.
Well, LeBron James had shot 18 free throws.
Well,
it was a clown show. How about Baby Nut sliding on his fat ass 6 feet across the floor with a ball in his hand, and they don't call traveling? That was my favorite. I like that one. Baby Nuts, by the way, 38 points, but he went 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter, probably because he was exhausted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wolves outscored the Lakers And now a total. Some totals for you through 4 games. The Wolves have outscored the Lakers in the fourth quarter by a total of 105-69.
Yep.
It was iffy at times. It was, but they had that strong fourth quarter. Long way to go. Brad Ryder doesn't think there's a long way to go. I'm still going to say there's a long way to go. Game 5, well, of course, isn't until Wednesday night, but
yeah,
it's killing me, Randy Shaver. It's killing me.
I think that you still have to sit here and give the Lakers their due, that they will find a way to come back and play, the next game tough and, could very well win that game. I agree with Brad, though. I just don't, if it does come back for Game 6, I just don't see how the Lakers get out of Minneapolis for a Game 6, just because of the way things have gone so far. And the Wolves have proven whatever punch you throw at us, for the most part, we're going to punch right back. In fact, we're going to punch even harder. And, they're just built better. They've got a better bench. Their superstars kind of cancel each other out. And I would say that Ant almost sometimes cancels both the other guys out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you look at his numbers from yesterday, 43 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 turnover. That I can't think of a better individual playoff game in team history.
Yeah. And he played almost as many minutes as the Lakers players who played the entire second half.
The difference is he's in a lot better shape and he's a lot younger.
Yep, for sure.
How about Mike Conley Jr. blocking LeBron James? Blocking a shot. That was special. I loved that moment. Little Mike Conley shooting up into the air like it's 20 years ago and blocking a shot by LeBron James. That was a cool moment. A text message here from I'd Eat Ashley's Skin Tags Jesus.
Oh, what's up, man?
Word.
How are you doing?
Who says, I hereby decree today is Rudy Gobert Day. For his courageous act of elbowing a giant whining bag of douche in the back of the head. Hear ye, hear ye. That's right. Someone ring a bell. He's decreeing today, I loved watching Rudy Gobert elbow LeBron into the... Another text message here from Kraken Skulls Jesus, who says, what we've been waiting for all year long is Julius Randle to play a little defense, and he has. He has been.
Well,
Julius Randle's
he's been phenomenal.
He has been
phenomenal.
He has been. Tougher than nails.
Yes.
I'll be 3-1 series lead over the Lakers. Who was handing out referee whistles at the gate for Game 3 over the weekend? You guys notice that when you were watching?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So did everybody else.
Yeah. See, I thought I was losing my mind at first. I kept hearing whistles because I know what whistles sound like, and so does Josh. The whistles go woo-woo, right? And I thought maybe it was coming from outside or something, and then the announcers said on television there was a warning issued over the public address system saying, whoever's blowing the whistles in the stand, shove them up your ass or you're going to get thrown out of the ball game.
That was a movie.
Hachimura dribbles it off his foot. Picked up by McDaniels. McDaniels drives inside. Doncic just stopped. He thought he heard a whistle. That's what he's looking at the officials. He thought he heard a whistle after the play.
The whistles go woo!
LeBron thought he heard a whistle. That's hilarious.
We used to do that in high school. I would never think to bring one to an NBA playoff game.
You can hear that in the clip. I don't know if you heard it in the beginning of the clip.
I think I did.
Let's play it again.
Maybe
Hachimura dribbles it off his foot.
Oh, yeah. I think years and years of wearing these headphones, I think high notes are difficult for me to hear now or something.
Yeah, I know your hearing is going a little bit.
Yeah. I shout
it's
all the
headphones.
time.
It's 100% the headphones.
Yeah. All right. People are texting in about that Wolves win yesterday. They're pretty pumped. Pretty friggin' pumped. All right. Yesterday in the National Basketball Association, other than the Timberwolves and the Lakers, The New York Knicks won by a point. Controversial ending. Thought there should have been a foul call there.
Very physical game.
Crazy game. Detroit Pistons thought there should have been a foul call.
Yeah. I mean, the way the game was being called the entire game, I'm not surprised that they let that go.
Well, I'm not surprised because it wasn't Doncic, it wasn't Steph Curry, it wasn't LeBron James. It was Bronny Hardaway. My wife's got a cool gimmick going in the house. Any player who is a junior is now Bronny. So there's Bronny Pippen, there's Bronny Hardaway Jr., there's Bronny Trent. They're all Bronny. And I'm going along with it. So it was Bronny Hardaway who was fouled on that shot. And you guys know just as well as I do, if it would have been Steph Curry or LeBron James or Doncic, that call would have been made. There's no way you can argue and make me believe it the other way around. Boston beat Orlando. They're up 3-1. Indiana beat Milwaukee. Indiana's up 3 games.
Yeah, Milwaukee's done because Lillard, he looks like he tore his Achilles.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah.
Wow,
so
he just did that not that long ago, I think.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be done for the series, and the Bucks are pretty much done.
They say that stings a little bit when you tear your Achilles.
Yeah, I heard it doesn't feel good.
I hear that's one of the worst pains there is.
I had a buddy do it not too long ago, and he was not loving life.
Did he do it in a hilarious way, or is he actually...
Oh, my God.
I don't picture him being an athlete.
It actually
I don't even know who you're talking about.
It actually was very funny. It was a good buddy of mine. He was trying to get me to join a men's league soccer team with him. And I said, dude, I'm nearing 40. No chance. Like that, I made it through youth sports without ever kind of unscathed, without ever having a massive injury. I'm not going to do it. And he was calling me out. Come on, dude. It'll be fun. Get some exercise. I said, no. Put my foot down. First game, he tears his Achilles.
Good call, Dana. You're too old to be doing that.
I was like, see?
Aren't you mad you didn't join the team to watch
No,
that?
then you could go back to him and say, well, there's a roster spot open. I think I'll join you.
As he's scootering his ass around town.
I saw a dude shred his Achilles playing beer league softball, and I have to admit, it was pretty funny. This is my pal, Ozzy. Ozzy listens to the program. Hey, Ozzy, if you're listening, text in. Remember when you tore your Achilles? That was funny stuff.
Was he pretty intoxicated? Or?
No. I mean, we had a few beers, of course, but it wasn't beer. It was just Ozzy. He was the type of ball player that would dive in the parking lot for a foul ball if he asked him to.
Sure.
Right? So if I remember right, Ozzy, text me if I'm wrong here. Foul ball careening down the left field line, and Ozzy, I think he tried to climb the fence to make... all in
That's
one.
a young man's move.
Oh yeah, we were late 20s. He did that run up and get up, climb the fence to make the catch, and his Achilles went pa-pa.
Oh.
But he healed after a while. He ended up being one of those guys in the early days of the XL Energy Center. He was one of the guys that would shovel the rink. You know what I'm saying? In between whistles. Yeah, he got a job over at the X. And he caught a lot of spit from a lot of big-time NHLers in the early 2000s. I think Jaromir Jagr hit him right in the mug with a loogie, as he's skating by the bench, sweeping the... over the weekend, how about that Aaron Gordon dunk at the buzzer to beat the Los Angeles Clippers? It had a very Derek Whittenberg, Lorenzo Charles feel to it.
And this is for the win. Whoa! It's close. They're going to call it. Buzzer. Did Gordon beat the buzzer? They're going to take a look at it.
It's weird cheering. It's weird cheering for the Denver Nuggets. I've been so tired of the Denver Nuggets, but I have to cheer for them because they're playing the friggin' stupid, pointless Golden State Warriors with all the stupid, pointless players
they're
on
playing the Clippers.
Yeah,
right. The other team that makes me sick. The
Wolves,
Clippers.
Golden State.
And that was, not only wins the game, but instead of a 3-1 Clippers series lead, it's 2-2 going back to Denver. That could have been a series-changing dunk.
Sure. James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, I can't stand them. I forgot which team I was hating there for a minute. So there. How about the Pigs now tied at 2 wins apiece in their best-of-7 series with that Vegas club? Unfortunately, this past Saturday afternoon, the boys lost a tough one in overtime. Our own Marcus Foligno got on the board again in that game.
3 straight games for him.
Is that right? Is it 3 straight games?
Pretty awesome.
He's a machine.
This kind of just feels like it's going to go to 7 games, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Vegas was able to keep the Russian kid off the scoreboard.
That's too bad. The Wild had many opportunities to make it a 3-1 series and just could not pull it off.
Believe it or not, Saturday was the very first time this season where the Pigs lost a game when leading heading into the third period. They were 29-0-0 before Saturday, but that's what makes the playoffs so much friggin' fun right there. Things like that happen.
Yep.
Again, special teams were a factor. Vegas scored 2 power play goals. The Pigs got none. But it ought to be a hell of a deal when they fire that series up again tomorrow night in Nevada. I think it'll be a 7-game series as well. Oh, Josh, you'll get a kick out of this. The Pigs head coach, Gene Snitsky, he had some motivational words for the boys. I read about this in the local newspaper. Snitsky said he would like the boys to, quote, keep it going.
You got to keep it going. We've been given that same advice by our boss.
Yes, keep it going.
Is that from J.J. Redick or what?
Yeah, don't stop.
We're going to play Eck and Boldy and the Russian kid with Brodin and Faber. That's it. We're playing those 5 guys the rest of the series.
That's my team.
Those are my guys. Guys are having heart attacks out there. But J.J. Redick, he's not going down with the bench guys out there.
Nope,
he's going
he's
down.
Not.
Oh yeah, we had a boss years ago. He thought he was our boss.
Okay, LeBron.
Well, we had a big role in getting him fired. We played a big role in getting him fired twice. He used to say that to us a lot. Hey, guys. Hey, man, how's it going? Good, good. All right, well, keep it going.
One time he asked us if we ever, kept it going.
What?
So come
He did.
on.
He did.
On a vacation or something. Do you guys ever just call each other and, keep it going? We've been known to keep it going.
Sure.
Is that what you guys do? Like, let's say you have a 3-day weekend. Do you call each other and, just in order to, keep it going? No.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh. Here's Florida Hockey Jesus texting in saying, let's not forget the refs are absolutely tilted in favor of the Vegas club.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
I remember game 1, there was the cross-check to the face on Timmy Hartman. What the hell's his first name? Slammy?
Slappy?
Ryan Hartman. I can't say that I've noticed anything other than that, but maybe I'm not watching closely enough.
I think you're right. It's just, I don't think it's been that bad.
No. Every call that doesn't go our way doesn't mean the officials hate us.
I mean, there was like the 69ing there in front of the net in Saturday's game. I think that was also Timmy Hartman.
Nice.
Well played, Josh.
I think that was also Ryan Hartman, where Hartman gets tangled up with some guy from Vegas. They 69 each other, right? They're like,
nice.
And the puck goes off of them into the net. Am I correct? Was that Saturday's game? Were any of you watching the game on Saturday?
Yes. Yeah. Watch the game. Yes.
I just wanted you to say they were 69ing one more time so we could hear it nice.
And I heard some people at the bar complaining Saturday night that should have been a penalty on Vegas, an interference penalty in front of our net. Now, I'm not trying to start trouble here, but to me, it sort of looked like Hartman did the pulling down of the two of them to the ice. But no matter who was pulling who, I don't mind when two guys are scrumming and scissoring like that on the ice. I don't mind that the referees gut their whistle. Watch that replay. Did it really look egregious enough on either end for a penalty to be called? I don't think so. When two guys lock up and they want to wrestle for a while, let them do it. So,
Scissor me!
You know that I'm the kind of guy, I like violence and shady doings on the ice in a hockey game. So I'm never going to be the guy that's asking for more whistles in a hockey game. But that particular play out front of the net on Saturday, I had no problem with the referee ignoring that.
Let him play.
Let him play, Brad Ryder said. Yep. Exactly. Other scores in the National Hockey League. Suddenly, Jobu must be doing his thing with the St. Louis Blues, like we predicted before the series started, because suddenly the Blues have come back to tie their series with Winnipeg. Carolina appears to be about done with New Jersey. Washington appears to be about done with Montreal. Edmonton and the Los Angeles Kings are squared at 2 wins apiece, with the Oilers winning last night in overtime. Now, you know, it's like pulling teeth to get me to talk about the NFL draft. The NFL had to go ahead and investigate a prank telephone call that was made to Shedeur Sanders during the NFL Draft. Of course, Sanders was a real big shot coming into the draft. Supposedly a great college player. I never saw him play. Yep. But, of course, he's the son of Deion Sanders and all that. So Sanders held a huge draft party and, of course, streamed the event live.
As you would do.
Right. As you would do in the last number of years. You have to make sure that all of your fans can get a look at what you're doing at all times. They're streaming this online. He doesn't get drafted in the first round, but they're still partying on day 2. They're all hanging out at some mansion, you know, Deion and Shedeur and the whole family. At one point during the second round on Saturday, Sanders receives a phone call that many people believed was the call. The person on the phone claimed to be New Orleans Saints general manager Mickey Loomis and said the team was about to draft Sanders with the 40th overall pick. Do you have the audio of this phone call, Josh?
Yes.
Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, been waiting on you.
It's been a long wait, man.
No, for sure.
We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir, let's be legendary.
But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, bye.
Go!
What does that mean?
How you gonna ask us what it means and you was on the phone?
You heard that?
You said you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Nobody got this number though.
Man, he just got trolled, bro. They tripping now, fam. Now I'm gonna crash out, bro.
And it was it.
So as you heard, there's a voice saying, "Hey man, my name's Mickey Loomis. I'm from the Saints. We're about to draft you." And then Shedeur Sanders says, "Let's be legendary."
Awesome.
Yeah, whatever, dude. And then he kind of throws in, "You're going to have to wait a little longer." And Shedeur saying, "What do you mean I got to wait a little? Bye." So they were tuned into it pretty quickly that this was a prank. The deal is the phone number that Sanders was pranked on was one that was supposedly only given out to NFL teams.
Correct.
And rumors immediately began to circulate that the person who made the prank call might be related to an NFL coach. And it turns out it was the son of the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator who made that hilarious telephone call.
Oh, no. Oh, buddy.
Getting your dad in trouble?
Yeah, that's not cool.
Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
I mean, why did the dad give him the number in the first place?
He didn't give it to him.
He didn't?
No.
I would be so embarrassed.
At least according to the story, Brad Ryder, his name is Jax Ulbrich. He's 21 years old. He's the son.
He's not a kid.
Well, he's sort of a kid. He's the son of Falcons defensive coordinator, a guy by the name of Jeff Ulbrich. And the word is Jax snuck into his dad's cell phone or something and snatched the number. Now, I'm assuming those laughs you played there, Josh, there's video of the pranksters making the call?
Yeah, they recorded it as well.
Him and his college buddies.
They had a fun time with that. And why wouldn't they? Prank phone calls were such a big part of my life for about 5 years. It's kind of fun to hear of a prank phone call that still works, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah, I felt kind of bad for Shedeur. I realize he doesn't come across as the nicest person in the world, but
Yeah, I have
couldn't have happened to a more humble guy.
True. I understand all that.
So this Jax Ulbrich apologized publicly to...
Actually called Shedeur.
Yes.
Actually talked to him.
How do you get the know? Oh, that's right.
Well, he made an announcement on Instagram. I didn't know that he gave him a personal phone call. But he has apologized to Shedeur and said, I made a mistake. Inexcusable, embarrassing, shameful. I'm so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish, blah, blah, blah. I hope you can forgive me. That is hilarious.
I think that was day 2, right?
Yes.
It was Friday. So Shedeur does not get drafted on Friday night and has to sit through a round and almost into the 5th round before the Browns owner forces their team to draft him.
They had 6 chances before that to draft the kid.
Did you see the look on Stefanski and the GM's face?
No.
When they took a shot of them after they picked Shedeur Sanders?
No.
It looked like they were being held hostage.
So you don't think they wanted to take him?
No. I think the owner of the story is the owner of the Cleveland Browns made them trade up to take him to end the kid's slide.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm sure Dion placed a few phone calls, too, to help make things work.
Didn't Cleveland take a quarterback?
They took
early?
Dylan Gabriel in the
I
third
think.
round.
Well, obviously, I think that's part of the reason why maybe Stefanski and those guys didn't want to do that. It's just going to be more drama in the quarterback room.
Yeah, they got like 6 quarterbacks on the roster right now.
Well, they need every damn one of them. They haven't had a decent quarterback in 25 years.
Their plan was to probably let that other kid have a shot, and now they're going to have to.
Joe Flacco's going to be likely their starter. But more importantly, more than all of that, it's the sideshow that now comes to Cleveland. That's the issue with a lot of teams. They didn't want the sideshow.
Well, you don't think Deion Sanders is the kind of guy to call the Browns and hassle them about how that his kid should be used?
Totally not.
No.
Well, we'll see how humbling all of this has been for Shedeur.
There's some stories out there about how he completely bombed every interview he went on.
Yeah.
Or every team's interview that he went on.
Yeah, but were there any specifics? I mean, was he just a dick, or just he didn't want to say anything? I didn't get any.
Some teams would send him, like mock, offenses, and then they'd try to quiz him on those. When he came in and he didn't know anything. Like he didn't take any time to go over any of the materials those are some of the stories that are out there. And so basically the teams are like, forget it.
I'd read that he had also kind of butted head with some head coaches.
Yeah, like if you're not going to put in the time before we even draft you, why should we invest the time to draft you?
Well, Deion thought he was God's gift, so why shouldn't his son too? Yeah.
I mean, there are reports that he basically tried to dictate where he wanted to play. Deion back in March, before all of the combines and everything else, basically in a couple of podcasts said that they will determine where he ends up playing. It won't be the NFL. Well, obviously, all of this stuff combined had led to, and I don't think anybody's arguing his on-the-field ability. He's got the ability, for sure. I think it's the off-the-field, what do you get on top of the player off the field? That's got a lot of teams saying, okay, we don't need that.
It has the potential to be a great disaster.
Yeah. But he may end up being a very, very good player.
Well, sure. And I bet it would never, ever dawn on Deion Sanders that he's a problem.
No.
You know what I mean? That he's the reason why. Part of the reason why no one was interested in his son, because Deion's such a pain in the ass. And he's going to butt into their business at every chance he gets if his kid doesn't get his way.
Stefanski just got rid of Deshaun Watson. He probably thought he was done with all that.
Yeah. Never should have got rid of our guy, Jameis Winston. Anyway, back to this prank phone call. There were other players who were pranked during the draft. I don't know if this Jax Ulbrich was also involved in those pranks, but there were other players who were similarly pranked, but they're not. Their last name isn't Sanders, so no one cared. Oh, by the way, another listener, not another listener, but a listener, texted in to say, I can't believe that a 21-year-old knows how to make a telephone call.
He probably had a few beers beforehand to get the courage up to actually dial a number.
And the Vikings were part of this draft, weren't they, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
They were there.
They were some of that.
Part of the draft. They drafted this guy and that guy. Oh, and then they picked up Max Brosmer.
They did. They signed Max as a free agent, and they also traded for Sam Howell to be their backup quarterback.
Dana likes to howl.
I hear him do it in commercials.
It looks like they've got their quarterback room at least off and running at this point. Maybe not set yet, but at least off and running.
Josh, this one's for you right here.
Text?
No. Just next little bit of information. It's not the kind of thing that I find entertaining at all. Matter of fact, deep down, it's quite aggravating. But because I know this is your style, I'm going to share it. So this one's for you. The Vikings' top draft pick this year, Donovan Jackson, out of the University of Ohio State. He plays guard. Donovan Jackson has a little-known fact about the kid, okay?
I'm aware, and I love him for this.
You can tell all your friends you knew this before anyone else. Donovan Jackson has a cat, and his cat is named... I want to go on record. I hate this stuff. Donovan Jackson has a cat named Leonardo DiCaprio.
Dana sent me a screenshot over the weekend.
I saw that on Twitter. I'm like, well, I know one person who's going to hate this, and I know one person who's going to love this. What's better or worse, Nick, that or Joey Meower?
Oh, my gosh.
Joe
I
Meower?
love it. I love both of those
Joe
so much.
Meower.
I can't pick.
Ah, boy, here we go. Looks like we played some licensed music on the show today, so we need to take that out. But since we're here, thank you for listening to the podcast. And you know what? I love you. I appreciate you listening.
Hey, if the late 70s and early 80s is your thing.
Sure.
Yeah, Randy Shaver. Former Viking quarterback Tommy Kramer posted a picture online over the weekend of Tommy playing golf with the drummer from Foreigner.
Yeah.
Sweet. What?
It's one of the coolest things I've heard all day. Lou Gramm, lead singer of Foreigner, is one of the most underrated singers that's ever lived. Absolutely tremendous voice. Saw him in concert a few years ago, Lou Gramm.
Oh, how'd he sound?
Terrific.
That's great.
Terrific. Sounded like he was 25 years old.
His solo career wasn't that bad either.
Oh, what's your name again? Brad Ryder? I got 2 words for you.
Midnight Blue.
Midnight F me running sideways blue. One of the
Throw
greatest.
that one up there.
Dude. Brad Ryder, next time we're together and we get a case of beer in the room between the two of us, we're going to suck that sumbitch dry and we're going to listen to Midnight Blue by Lou Gramm until the friggin' sun comes up.
This is high school for me, right?
Hell yes. God, this is good.
What about Catrick Swayze? You like that one?
We're listening to Lou Gramm.
Do it.
Zach Parise?
You want some of that beer too, Cubby?
Sure. I'll drink half a beer with you guys.
Oh, man.
We get this.
What the hell are we talking about?
Anytime you request a song, Brad, people want to know if it's that song.
That song. Exactly.
Where you were broken up with on the side of the road there at U of M campus.
No, because this song, I like that song.
We got to keep notes of artists and songs that Brad hates.
If it creates a bad memory, why would I love it?
What if she loved it? Oh, wouldn't that be painful?
She still listens to it and thinks about it.
I don't know how Tommy Kramer became friends with the drummer from Foreigner. Who used to be the drummer for Foreigner, used to be John Bonham's kid.
Bronny Bonham?
Yeah. This guy's name is Chris Frazier, who has played with Josh, Steve Vai, Whitesnake, the Tak Matsumoto Group.
Wow.
Dude.
That's a lineup.
with Eric Martin and Tak Matsumoto and Jack Blades.
You're going to have to be a very good drummer.
Are you boning me? You're not boning me.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Played with Randy Shaver, this Chris Frazier, who's hanging out with Tommy Kramer. He played with Eddie Money.
Oh, my.
You like Eddie Money.
I do.
Foreigner put out a greatest hits record a number of years ago, and they've got a live version of Hot Blooded. That'll knock your D in the dirt. God dang.
Hot Blooded live?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to make you finger bang the computer, but I mean, talk about Lou Graham's voice, baby. Come on.
Do you know when they put that, or when this was recorded, I should say?
Early 80s. When Lou was young, oh, man, he could just tear it up.
I've got one here from 2010. You want to hear that?
Well, that would be Kelly Hansen.
Oh, it's okay. He's not in it.
Yeah, that's not Lou anymore. And Kelly Hansen can sing and everything, but he ain't Lou Graham. You know who else is in Foreigner right now, Josh?
Who that?
Has been for years. Jeff Pilson.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. All right. Good to see the Twins get a weekend series sweep over the Angels.
Much needed.
Yeah, that feels good.
Joe Ryan was phenomenal yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Struck out 11. I think the Angels struck out 13 times overall.
Yeah.
Twins won the finale 5-0. Carlos Correa had a double, 3 hits in the game. He went 6 for 11 in the series. You had Ty France and Ryan Jeffers knocking the ball around. First series sweep since last August when the wheels fell off.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Now they start up a 4-game series in Cleveland tonight. Bailey Ober pitches for the Twins. The bad news is that Luke Keyshaw kid.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Got his friggin' arm broken.
Yep. By a pitch.
Yeah. Inside pitch hit him on the forearm and it broke his arm for him.
Yeah.
In his first at-bat of the ballgame Friday night. And he had been playing very well. So don't expect to see him for a couple of months.
Saw a headline on a Twins blog, Twins Daily. It said something to the effect of, Twins fans brought back to reality after 72 hours of having a nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who the hell's going to play the infield? Willie Castro
But here's the good news. I mean, Royce Lewis is not that far away.
Okay.
He's in St. Paul. He'll probably wrap up his minor league, stint this week, and will likely join the club sometime this week. And if that happens,
okay,
you've bolstered not only your everyday lineup, but your infield as well. So hopefully when they all get healthy, they'll still be in the race at some point where they can all compete. So
I think they're in the right division to stay in the race.
Yeah.
For right now, they are. Yeah.
There's also a kid by the name of Ryan Fitzgerald who was an option, a longtime minor leaguer who's batting very well with the Saints this year. And then the Twins signed Cody Clemens a day or two ago.
Yep.
One of Roger Clemens' kids, but I guess he kind of sucks.
He's a journeyman infielder, kind of like the Jonah Bride guy that they traded for or signed from Miami. Yeah.
And he spells Cody with a K. I just can't get on board with that.
Oh, yeah.
No,
that's gross.
That's Lindahl you're thinking of. That spells Chris with a K. You can't say that about somebody else.
Yeah. Those dudes that spell Chris or Cody with a K, iffy at best. Iffy. Rough day for the Toronto Blue Jays starting pitcher yesterday, Kevin Gausman. Had a terrible third inning. Who the hell were they playing? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. By the third inning, he was done. All right? And this guy's...
He's good.
A couple years ago when the Twins faced him in the playoffs, I mean, everyone was talking about this Kevin Gausman. Not a good start to the season, I guess, and he had a terrible day yesterday. He gets pulled from the game. On his way out, he barks at the umpire. He thought the umpire was partially to blame for his bad day. The umpire throws him out of the game. Gausman begins walking into the dugout.
Instant karma.
And then he stumbles down the steps. He's okay.
Some days things don't work out for you, Michael.
He just disappears.
He's going, you kiss my ass, you fat... He goes down the stairs.
What a great time to drop that line in there.
You posted that, didn't you, Ashley?
Yes, I did.
You could see that on 93x.com.
Poor bastard.
Some days things just don't work out for you.
He disappeared like Mick Jones' hairline. That's the founding member of Foreigner, Mick Jones. His hair fell out, Ashley. Ashley.
Yeah.
I'm over here.
Sucks.
Yeah. You're not even looking at your computer.
I have no idea who that is.
I told you who it is. It's the founding member of Foreigner. And you
I have no idea what he looks like.
You looked away. You looked away. You had no interest in that conversation.
I think she was Googling him.
Oh. All right. There you go, boys. What else is going on? Did I miss anything, Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver?
I don't think so.
I'm going to have to listen to some Foreigner today now.
Oh, you ought to. I love them. Or Eddie Money, sure. Just pumping out hits. That's what they did. What do you want? Do you want a record with 5 or 6 hits on it? We'll give it to you. You know what this song is about, don't you, Josh?
Is it sexual relations?
Yeah, go a little further with that.
Like your entrance into that realm?
Go a little further with that.
Oh, is it a particular act?
Oh.
Feels like the first time?
Well, yeah, isn't that what I was saying when you... wait a minute. Okay, let me ask you something.
Yeah?
What?
Would this be typically the end of a session?
No.
Is that what you're referring to?
No. Anal sex.
No, it's not.
Really? Are you lying?
It is not.
You're going to ruin this song for me.
You just ruined it.
How does that ruin the song? It makes it better.
Nah.
That makes the song better.
Ruined it.
It feels like the first time.
Oh, my God.
That's not about anal sex.
You're about anal sex.
No, I'm not. Take it back.
I apologize. You are not about anal sex.
Thank you.
You are about love and relationships.
That's right. Just regular, infrequent sex. That's the kind I like.
You guys could have left.
It was getting too good. The music was good.
It's good music. It's Foreigner. You don't want to hear the rest of this. You don't.
It gets kind of dirty.
Yeah, you don't want to hear the rest of it.
You know I don't pay attention to lyrics.
Yeah,
so I thought maybe
what
he's
the
onto
heck?
something.
Well, what are you mad at me for?
I didn't know that, but it makes sense now that you said it out
Now you've got
loud.
a whole legion of listeners Googling, does that song sound like that?
It's everything that I said. We got to go. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
See ya.
Okay.
We'll be back in a few minutes with songs about missionary.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks as always for listening to the podcast. And of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.
This is Women's Work with Nicole Khalil.
I wish you health, physical, mental, emotional, financial, social, and most definitely spiritual.
Redefining what it means to be doing women's work.
I would rather have the temporary pain of discomfort than the avoidable pain of regret.
But hear me when I say this. Believe in something. Believe in yourself. That, more than anything, is absolutely woman's work.
This is Woman's Work from Believe. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
FS Morning Show 93X.
It's Monday. It's 93X Rock. It's early in the morning. It's our latest F-off week. If you didn't catch it earlier, we will not be working Thursday and Friday this week because we don't want to. Welcome back to the 93X FS Morning Show. We dig you for listening to our program. Get yourselves ready now. Get your text hand ready. We got something for you hardcore types in our listening audience. Pantera's hitting the road. I'll be damned. They're hitting the road. They're calling it the heaviest tour of the summer. Pantera, along with, and I always try my best, I think I'm saying this out loud correctly, Amon Amarth.
That's how I know it.
Who look, if you're not familiar, they look like a band full of extras from an episode of Game of Thrones playing guitars and drums. I saw them open for Megadeth a few years ago. Very entertaining. When I saw them play, I mean, things could be different now. Their stage, Josh, was an old-timey Viking ship.
I've seen the videos. The YouTube videos are crazy of some of their shows.
They've got the long beards and the loincloths.
And the muscles.
Anyway, Pantera, living legends that they are, hitting the road with Amon Amarth this summer. We want to send you to see them somewheres here in the United States. And you get the pick. If you end up winning, West Coast, East Coast, anywhere's in between, you can pick the show. A trip for two, flight, hotel, 2 premium tickets to see Pantera live, and plus you'll score what they call here the Pantera Ultimate Meet and Greet Experience with exclusive gifts, the VIP black carpet, how do you say that, Josh?
Black carpet.
The VIP black carpet treatment. And you'll meet the band.
I'd be intimidated. Do you think they'd laugh me out of the room if I bought a Patagonia shirt and wore that in there?
No.
No, you don't think so?
No, you're all right.
No.
I don't have a Patagonia shirt.
Maybe 25 years ago, you would have earned yourself a whooping by walking up on Pantera wearing a Patagonia shirt now.
Not anymore, though,
No.
eh?
No. So
do you think they'd probably get annoyed if I dressed like how they do on stage? Right?
Yeah. And you said, hey, bro. You know,
I love you guys. I'm just like you.
Yeah.
Minus the muscles and the talent and the hair.
Maybe that's how you get your ass kicked now at a Pantera meet and greet, if you dress yourself up to look like Pantera, and that's obviously not your vibe. Here's what you got to do. Text the national keyword Pantera.
Really kicking things off with a bang.
What our old boss used to say?
Simplifying this.
How'd you come up with that one?
Yeah.
He would have said.
Text the national keyword Pantera to 95819. Do it right now to enter for a chance to win this wonderful prize. The number is 95819, and the word is Pantera.
Yeah, I see a lot of texts coming into the regular number. It's not the regular number.
95819.
Yeah, 95819. That's the one you want to send it to. And nobody listened to me on that one.
Panthera.
That's how they're going to do it. So good luck.
I like that riff. You've got a lot of good ones.
Here's something old Cubby was just rapping about, I want to say last week. I remember you said this out loud. You said, it used to be that you had to accomplish something to become famous.
Yeah, you had to have a talent. You had to have something important to say. You earned it.
You earned it. Not anymore. And everyone is aware of how easy it is to become a somebody now for 10 or 15 minutes. So people are acting like jackasses all over town. We have stories in our Stupid News report constantly about folks mangling themselves sideways in some bizarre way to try to get famous on the internet. I'll say it again, the biggest mistake humanity ever made, social media. It's ruined everything. Every era, they say, finds a stupid new way for people to become famous. I've never heard it really discussed this way, but let's humor them and go along with it. Okay. Every era finds a new stupid way for people to become famous. I don't think it's ever been at a point the way it is now, obviously, because social media is so quickly, you do something that you think is notable, and everyone from here in the Twin Cities all the way to Biafra knows your name. But they say in the 70s, it was being a groupie. And sure, I remember some of the names of the famous groupies. Well, now I've lost them. Wasn't one of them Backstage Connie?
Yeah. What was the one in, like, some of those rock documentaries we'll talk about?
Damn. Suddenly they've escaped me.
Would Morgana the Kissing Bandit count?
No. She just kind of ran out onto the ball field. I don't think she was doming anybody out in the clubhouse or anything like that. You know, rock and roll groupies.
The one that always comes to mind for me is a fictional one, Penny Lane. That was Kate Hudson's character in Almost Famous.
Wow, wee.
Yeah, it's good. Would have been good to be a fictional rock star.
But anyway,
to have a fictional groupie like Penny Lane.
I get it, sure. Okay, that was a thing in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, but still, there were certain neighborhoods who never heard of these people. There were certain neighborhoods who did. There's no way you can compare it to today, but we'll just keep going anyway. In the 70s, they say if you became a groupie, you could get famous. In the 80s, it was being a druggie. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that. But
yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of druggies.
In the 90s, you got famous being on cable. In the 2000s, you became famous being on reality television. 2010s, social media. And they say in the 2020s, it's being an influencer. Okay? So I guess they've proven their point there. There's a new list of dumbest reasons someone became famous in the United States. And here are some notable examples. The dumbest reasons someone became famous in the United States. Feel free to send in your take. 651-989-9393 is how you text this here radio program. If you have an idea of the dumbest reason someone became famous in the United States. Balloon Boy leads us off. I'm totally unfamiliar with this. Sounds like Dana knows what we're talking about.
You don't remember the Balloon Boy?
I do not.
Oh, nutty parents.
Okay.
That was a fun day on the internet.
Here's the story if you're like me and you don't know it. In 2009, a Balloon Boy or the Balloon Boy hoax went viral. A couple claimed their 6-year-old son was trapped in a homemade balloon 7,000 feet up in the air.
Oh, I kind of remember this now. Yeah.
There was a balloon in the air, but there was no boy inside the balloon. The boy was at home in their attic.
Weird.
So this was their attempt to get famous. They told their son to hide in the attic. We're going to pull this bit on social media and see where it goes. And obviously, it went somewhere because here we are talking about it today. No, I don't recall that at all.
Oh, every cable channel is going live on it. It was hilarious.
Can you imagine being that kid?
I
That's
know.
who you are the rest of your life because your parents are goofballs.
Mm-hmm.
So that was as far as it went? It was just kind of one day of hype and that was it?
Oh, it was way more in one day. It was a big news story for a while.
Wow. Okay. Balloon Boy. Obviously, Hawk to a girl
That's one of the dumber ones in a long time.
is included here.
At least people recognized how dumb it was.
Yeah, it says right here in this article about the dumbest reason someone got famous in the United States. It says right here, she is really the textbook example of this. Okay. Next thing you know, she's got her own clothing line and a what do they call it in the business, Josh? A record contract. She's got a podcast. She's got a porno. The Island Boys. I'm also unfamiliar with these characters. It says they went viral on TikTok and got desperate for fame. Are you familiar with the Island Boys?
Nope.
I haven't heard of these ones.
Didn't they have a song called like Island, I'm an Island Boy or something that made him famous?
No
You got me. You got me. Honey Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo.
Oh, that was pretty stupid.
Tell me about this. I've heard it said a million times, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. How did Honey Boo Boo become famous in the United States?
Wasn't that a pageant show?
Yep.
A little girl and her family's a bit eccentric.
Right, the mom was way over the top pageant mom, and then they got their own TV show off of that.
I'm glad I stayed out of that one.
I missed that one too. A little old for it. But yeah, Honey Boo Boo, she was pretty popular.
Okay.
There's a lot of people get famous for just being rich. Again, it's not a talent. It's usually generational, right? Where
Right.
your parents are rich or somebody else is rich, and like Paris Hilton, things like that.
Sure. And then again, social media.
Sex tape.
They can advertise themselves.
Kim
as-
Kardashian, obviously her dad's famous, but the OJ lawyer, but the sex tape, that got her famous.
Okay, right here, making this report on the dumbest reasons someone became famous in the United States is Kim Kardashian. And it says here, she was famous for A, her father was one of O.J. Simpson's lawyers, and B, a leaked porno movie starring Ray J and Kim Kardashian.
I would say C, their mom is an amazing PR person. She really knows what she's doing.
She does. Weren't there rumors going around that it was Kim's mother who told her, look, put that porno movie on social media and brace yourself for fame?
Yep, I heard those rumors.
Okay. The rest of the Kardashians make the list, who are famous for an association with Kim Kardashian. And then also, it says here, the Jenners, who are famous for an association with the Kardashians.
Imagine getting famous because your sister put out a sex tape.
I'd be okay with that.
I think I'd be okay with it, too.
If it put me on easy street for the rest of my life, what the hell do I care?
Yep. Dana, we met your sister for the first time at your wedding. I'd like to see that sex tape.
Oh.
See what I can do?
I mean, 35 years ago, you'd say, oh, God, no. Everyone on planet Earth sees your porno movie. Nowadays, people go, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's consensual. Bad Bobby?
Bad Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the Cash Me Outside girl?
Yeah, Cash Me Outside.
Oh, yeah, the disrespectful little... Oh, I hate her.
Yeah, she's terrible.
She became famous because she was on an episode of Dr. Phil and kind of...
We've played clips of her. You obviously you don't remember, but she's just very difficult to listen to.
I remember
Piece of crap to her mom.
I remember Catch Me Outside. I remember that slogan. One more. Do we have to take... we got to take a break. Let me throw one more of these at you. You can try to help me out with. Alex from Target.
There was a good-looking kid at Target that went really viral because he was just a cashier at Target, and somebody posted a photo of him like, wow, check out Alex from Target, and every girl in the nation went crazy for him for a minute or two.
It's so great because he looks like a very average, good-looking man. I don't know.
Right, yeah, there's nothing special about him.
I thought he
kind of a lot of those.
I thought he kind of looked like Justin Bieber. Maybe it was his haircut.
Yeah, oh yeah, he did kind of have that mop thing on top.
There are some good-looking people that work at Target.
Heck yeah. That's why Nick used to go when he lived in Rogers.
Yeah, they hire beautiful people.
I loved going to... I still love going. We talked about this last week. I just like going out to malls, stores, just to look around. Yeah, I mean, and the Target in Rogers, when I was living up in Rogers, was just crawling with babes. And so I'd go there all the time. They almost had to throw me out of their little hot dog stand. The snack bar.
Yeah.
So that's your 9th hot dog today?
I would go there and just sit and eat their delicious hot dogs and watch the babes go by.
My mom used to work at Food Avenue.
Dude.
Lame claim to fame.
Food Avenue.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Many, many years.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I'll tell you what. I got to get in there, Cubby.
Yeah, you do.
We got to get out of here before I can get in there. So let's wrap this up. Appreciate you listening today. We'll be back tomorrow at 5:40. Just last week, Josh said, back in my day, he said, you used to have to be able to accomplish something to become famous.
You earned it back.
You had to earn it back.
The old-fashioned way.
Not anymore. Now, any jack off who's got a friggin', what do you call it? A
cell phone?
Cell phone and a social media website, whatever the verbiage is. You can be famous just like that. You just got to do something really stupid, and people will love you for a few minutes. That's what a lot of the young people are going for. So we were rolling through this list on the dumbest reasons someone became famous in the United States. People like Balloon Boy, Hawk Tuah Girl, The Island Boys, Honey Boo Boo, Bad Bobby, Kim Kardashian, Alex from Target. Here we go. Here's the rest of the report. Here's who else is named. They got famous for dumb reasons. Any of the teen moms.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
That show's still going on.
I realized
Is it?
at least when I was younger that it was ridiculous. I don't think some people did.
Were any young ladies getting pregnant on purpose so then they could be on television and be a famous teen mom?
I've heard
That wouldn't surprise me.
Don't know if it's true, but I read an article on it.
Is that right?
And that was also when the show first came out. That was the fear, right? People were saying, "Hey, you can't do this.
For Christ's sake.
Everybody's going to get pregnant and famous."
It did not seem enjoyable. They did not seem like they were having a good time with the whole ordeal.
Or that's what the producers wanted you to think.
Oh.
Right?
Speaking of moms, the Octomom comes into play here. It says here she had 14 children. Is that correct?
Maybe
I'm not
overall,
sure.
yeah.
Anyone familiar with the Octomom?
I did my best to avoid that.
Well, wouldn't Octo mean she had 8 children?
Well, that was at once.
She had 8 children at one time?
Yeah, dude, right? I like your face. Yeah.
What? Has that ever happened before?
I'm going to guess not, just based on how popular she would be.
I was unaware of that. She had 8 children fall out of her on the same day.
I thought that was the gist.
No, thank you. I can't remember. Were all of them healthy babies?
Let me look. Yeah, she had octuplets.
Holy balls.
She gave birth to the first surviving octuplets, January 2009.
Well, F me. I think she earned at least a hour-long special on television.
Yeah,
for
she
that.
did a lot more than the rest of these people.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
And I don't think, you can't do that on purpose, I don't think, so.
Oh, it was on purpose.
Her having 8?
Well, they put too many eggs in her. It was IVF.
Oh.
So that was the controversy. Right?
Oh, so it may have been on purpose.
I don't know if she wanted to have 8 necessarily, but she was going for multiples.
All right. The Octomom did a porno movie. A lot of this stuff is kind of coming back to me. She did a porno movie?
I didn't know that.
That's according to one of our listeners. I'm sorry.
It says right here, yeah. She, refused. This says refused on Wikipedia.
Okay. I'll catch up on this when I get home.
Hopefully she changes her mind.
She had, if you're wondering, well, what happens when you have 8? She had surgery to,
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
She had some surgery.
That's not coming out the natural way.
No, I can't imagine. That's how I pictured it at first. And I thought, well, that's silly. That wouldn't work.
That's amazing to me. I had certainly heard that name thrown around a few times, Octomom, but I thought it was just because she had 8 children. I did not realize she had them all at once. That's crazy. Okay. Dumbest reason someone became popular here in the United States. In the report, it notes singing badly on American Idol. They say, thankfully, this has become less of a sensation than it once was. Okay. Jake Paul is thrown in here. Cubby, I hate to do this to you, but they go after your favorite athlete of all time. In this report on dumbest reasons why people became popular in America, they say eating a bunch of hot dogs. They're going after your guy, Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, they could be. It could be Kobayashi. They don't specify because they're too chicken because they understand it's treason to, go again.
Yes.
But yeah, obviously that's a silly reason to get famous.
To go after an American hero like that.
Yeah, you can't do something like that and expect not to be locked up for life.
Smashing someone's kneecap before an ice skating competition. Well, she was famous.
She was already famous.
Yeah, that doesn't count. And
then she became infamous.
I would have considered it if I were her. Why not just smash the other gal's kneecap?
Yeah.
I made a Nancy Kerrigan reference over the weekend and nobody got it.
You did?
Oh, that's too bad.
People were too young.
Did you scream, why?
No, that's a good one. I would have got that reference.
Tell me your Nancy Kerrigan reference.
I told someone I'm going to Nancy Kerrigan them if they don't knock it off, and they'd never heard the reference. They didn't know what I was talking about.
You'll be the next Nancy Kerrigan if you don't watch that yapper. And finally, and then I have a few answers from our listening audience. I remember this story. A scalding cup of coffee burned someone's genitals off at a fast food joint. So, but this report is leading me to believe that they poured that coffee on their gear on purpose?
No, they're not suggesting that. That's loosely based. That's the wrong way to put it. That person didn't become famous. That story certainly is famous. Could you guys say the name of the lady?
No.
No.
They're saying like, hey, if that happened today, they'd probably become famous. But All I know, it was an older lady, and she got worked real bad.
It's a stupid reason to become famous.
Yeah, that your genitals got burned off.
Of course, a stupid and painful way to get famous. I'm sorry, I misread. The verbiage here led me to believe that this was a self-sabotage thing to become famous, but that's not the case. Okay.
And that woman got so much hate because everybody's like, well, coffee's supposed to be hot, you dum-dum. Why are you suing? But she had some serious, serious medical damage done to her.
I thought the same thing until someone texted me the damage.
Yeah.
Fox Tossing Jesus said, how about murderers?
Oh, yeah.
Getting famous for serial killers and stuff like that. Yeah, that's totally true.
I hate that bit. I hate that bit.
Yep.
Now here's a listener saying that Octomom made a porno movie, but it's solo.
Yeah, maybe. It says on Wikipedia she didn't.
All right, listeners texted in on the topic, dumbest way people have become famous here in the United States. They mentioned the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I love that show.
I did too.
Never saw it.
It was just trash. It was great.
Anybody on there that you think, well, they've got they can sing, or wow, what an orator they are, or man, they can create some beautiful art.
Well, they say
like
Paul
Snooki.
They're just drunks.
Yeah, I don't follow, DJ, like the fist pumping DJs, but people say that Pauly D is actually a really good DJ. But other than that, yeah, none of them really had any discernible skills.
Never saw it.
Not even Snooki?
Listeners are saying any of these porn stars these days who take on 800 penises in 12 hours.
Yeah.
They're saying that's a very stupid way to be.
That's getting tired, though. I think people are already very uninterested in that.
Listen to this answer, Josh, from a listener. All those people who drank the Kool-Aid.
Well, maybe they're referencing someone else we mentioned, or are they talking about the origin of that saying?
I don't know.
They didn't really get to enjoy that fame.
There was that cult deal, right? I don't remember the
Very
names.
dark.
Now, how about this? Someone says, John Bobbitt. Give this guy a break. He got his friggin' rod cut off.
It is a weird way to get famous.
What? He can't have a couple of free drinks and a telethon?
I think he also made a porno.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah, he made a porno. I saw it. I saw one of them.
Gross.
I don't want anyone going after John Bobbitt. His wife cut his pecker off. This guy can have a record contract and a couple of free drinks. Mukbanging.
Yeah.
And someone else calls out the Gangnam Style dance dude.
Oh, what was his name?
That was
I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, what was it?
Psy?
That sounds right.
Oh,
Psy.
boy. All right. We got to
Yeah,
get
Psy. P-S-Y.
the Gangnam Style dance dude.
Gangnam Style.
We got to get the hell out of here. It's day one of our 3-day F-off week. We hope you have a good one. We'll be back tomorrow.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You gotta be kidding me. Who greenlit this garbage?
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, there's my beautiful podcast, people. Everybody good? All right, great to hear. Thanks, as always, for listening to the podcast. And, of course, thanks to our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for making it all possible. Can we believe it's April already? And like the old saying goes, April showers brings gross, disgusting humidity and heat in May. Beat the heat and the summer rush. Have Standard Heating and Air Conditioning out to work on that AC soon. April is the best month to get your air conditioning wrenched on before the huge summer rush starts. So get on that today. Go to standardheating.com and schedule that AC tune-up. Thanks for listening. We love you podcasters. Enjoy the show.